Old classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all honesty, Mom, probably. Oh, is it working on your side? Did you also set up your side, Mom?
I didn't do anything special on. Oh, you already started it. Oh, I didn't even notice you started. I didn't do anything special to mine because I didn't have time because I just got in. But I can always fix it later on my YouTube end.
Oh, two people. Is it on mine or is it on yours?
I don't know.
It's obviously on yours.
How can you tell where they're?
Put your mouse where the eye is.
Oh, I see. You learn something new every day.
as predicted, the first two.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a recurring theme, isn't it?
Show up is on your channel. I get it. I understand.
Jealousy does not look good on you, Arthur.
I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm playing along.
Yes, jealousy. It's not a good thing. It's envy. Envy.
Come on, Levi. Eat your food.
Anyways, hello everyone. This is the Arturelia podcast, and today we're gonna do what we did the last time. Our three best favorite animes. This is not really a competition. If it was, it would have been like a top 10 thing. But
it's just like some of our favorites. Like
some of our favorites.
Yeah.
For those that are watching, I am going to try something here if it'll work right. I'm going to try to share the photos of what we're discussing about, and I hopefully it will not fail. I'm crossing my fingers.
It should work if you just do share screen.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it mostly just shows the picture, but I guess who wants to start with their number 1 or 3?
Well, yesterday we started with Matt. He was in the lower right-hand corner. I mean, we could do the same. I mean, Matt. That Matt.
Which Matt? Matt Air?
We have two Matts with us. Matt Air. Or we could start in a different grid and just continue the pattern.
With Matt Rice because he wasn't on the last one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let me see.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Do I have? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see if all the. Okay, yeah, the pictures are.
Got all the pictures lined up.
Yeah. So Matt Rice, which one are you going to talk about so I could select that one and try to share it?
I was gonna do Full Metal first, but.
Okay, yeah, that's on my list too.
Up to you.
I mean,
it's up to you.
I mean,
which Full Metal? The original
Brotherhood
or both? Okay.
Brotherhood. He was. Yeah.
I was going to do Brotherhood.
That is the best. That is the best one.
Well, there's also the live action movie.
No, we're not doing this.
You did not speak up when we talked about whether we were going to discuss the live action. You didn't say one word.
Well, so I mean, yeah, Matt Rice and we could talk about Full Metal. Now let me see if I could share this dang thing on my screen. Share screen.
Hi, Glenn from Washington. We got someone from Adelaide, someone from England, cold, snowy England, and Washington State.
Wait a minute.
So they're all around. Okay, Full Metal. Okay.
I'm trying to make it bigger. Hold on.
Okay, you could do slideshow. Select slideshow should be to the upper right, but hit the space. Hit the space. No, it's not full.
It's not.
Well, it's better than it was. No, it's okay.
Okay, I gotta get out of here.
When you hit slideshow, you have to.
Did it disappear?
Yes, it did.
Well, hey, this is trial and error, people.
We should have practiced before we started this.
How about now?
Well, no, it was before, but now it's gone down again. When you hit slideshow, you have to hit the space bar to prevent it from jumping to the next picture, though.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, to keep it paused on that picture.
Don't worry, guys. We're moving along. So wait.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's right, because you guys are 5 hours ahead of us in England.
Now
stay warm.
Back out. It goes black. That's the problem. It goes black.
Yeah. Wait, don't back out.
Well, but then I can't see the comments. I have it up full screen on my computer.
Oh. Well, okay. I can pay attention to the comments and pop them up on the screen as they come up.
Okay, so
someone here says they just finished Full Metal Brotherhood again. Love that anime. Yeah, that's a really good anime.
So yeah, Matt Rice and I will start off with Full Metal, like the famous one. Well, it's an interesting anime. Like it takes a lot of concepts from our world, but changes it. Like it's a fantasy, but you can kind of tell there's a lot of references to things in this show. The characters are really interesting, and the villains are also interesting. I like the story. It's really good. It also shows brotherly love, and I will note there are two versions of this. There is the original, and then there's this one. And there is a bit of a difference between the two. So Brotherhood mostly follows the books. The original somewhat did, and then it diverged in a different direction.
Because the books weren't done yet. That's why they did what they did.
Matt Rice, do you have anything to add on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Like, what'd you like about it? Anything?
Oh, I like all of it. I saw the original, so I was hyped when my brother told me there's gonna be another one. Which it's funny because I finished it during school, in high school, like as in my exams. So it was kind of funny.
Nice.
Because they were doing exams and we got finished, and I was just like, you know what, I can watch this.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people were happy when Full Metal came back, and they
I can imagine.
Follow the books more. And I've got to say, yes, Brotherhood. I mean, I like the original. Don't get me wrong. There are some good charms to the original. It's just that Brotherhood seems to have more of a. Well, let's just say the conclusion is just way better than the original.
Yes. I like the original was actually, I started watching anime before you guys did, before you, Arturo, and Aurelia started watching them. And Full Metal was one of the first and Inuyasha was one of the first, but I never finished Inuyasha. I started Full Metal, the original. This was before Brotherhood came out. And I really enjoyed it, but I never finished. And then it wasn't until you guys started getting into it that we finally, I finally finished the original, and then we moved on to Brotherhood. And I do prefer Brotherhood, but one thing that I like about the original is Brotherhood, the first about 14 episodes are approximately the first 25 of the original crammed together.
Yeah, that was my whole complaint with Brotherhood.
Yeah,
the first half is too rushed.
Yes,
maybe
exactly.
Waited a few more years.
I think they should have just made more episodes. I think they could have.
They could have done what they did with Hunter x Hunter 2011, because they adapted most of like the 98 version, but it was well paced. It may have been a reboot and it followed the books, but it was well done. Like I'm always saying, anime, like if they've done anime before and then they're rebooting it to follow the books, they need to take Hunter x Hunter 2011, for example. That was a well-made reboot because it didn't rush things too quickly.
Yeah. I feel like you just didn't get that emotional attachment to what's his name? What was that guy that died?
Spoilers?
Wait, are you talking about
the so-and-so? Yeah.
Okay, so because they rushed Brotherhood so much in the beginning, you didn't form quite as much of an emotional attachment to that character. By the time obviously you're still sad, but I feel like in the first one, you just get more in depth with him, and also the storyline of Tucker and what happened to Nina. So like the character of Tucker lasts for several episodes in the original, but in Brotherhood, he's like only one or two episodes and he's gone.
Yeah.
Now I was going to ask you guys a question because you might know this. In the manga, because I haven't read the manga, in the manga, you know what happens with Shell Tucker in the original?
Yeah.
Does that happen in the manga, or was that all made up for the original?
In the original, that was like what happened to him in the original. That
Like
was
the
made
transformation.
up. Yeah, that was made up in the
I think that was made up.
Yeah.
Let me double check because
The books
book
follow Brotherhood. So what happened to him in Brotherhood happened in the book.
That's what happened to. So he was a pretty minor character as far as his presence was pretty minor. He wasn't in there a whole lot. But I never forgot what he did when I saw I never forgot that. And in my interview with Chuck Huber, which is up on my channel, I interviewed him back in late December. He was. I asked him about his favorite characters and his least favorite, like the hardest characters. And he mentioned that Shao Tucker was the hardest, not because of what his character did, because he really actually likes to play that up.
He plays wicked characters.
Yeah, he has a crazy sense of humor. He said that when he had to do Tucker during the transformation in the original Full Metal, he had to whisper.
Yeah.
And he said that was extremely hard on his throat. Yeah. So
Well, the other issue I had with Brotherhood was that they took the whole train part out. That actually happened in the books. Remember that one, Mom, in the original?
That was like they were being held, some bad people on the train and holding them hostage or something.
Yeah, that did happen in the books, but
and they
in
took
Brotherhood
that out.
they took that out because that was actually the introduction to Roy Mustang and like what he could do.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, yeah, the problem with Brotherhood is that Roy Mustang is when he makes his appearance in the first episode is not as badass.
Oh, see, I forgot about that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Roy Mustang, I like Roy Mustang.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Interesting, complex. They don't get along. Edward Eric does not get along with him that well, but
you also don't know if you can trust him.
Yeah. Then you have the villains. Now in the original they were fleshed out a little more. Some of them, because in Brotherhood. They did rush. I mean, it did happen the same way in the books. That's how it felt. But I think there was some scenes that they never animated for the show that I wish they would have for at least, more character development.
They also sped up everything with greed, and that kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
You mean in Brotherhood?
In Brotherhood, Greed and his gang show up in like one episode. And then Greed's automatically caught.
Oh.
So if you haven't watched the original series, you won't know why half these people are being hunted because they sped through it a little too fast.
That's why I recommend everybody start with the original. Because I'm glad I started with the original personally, because I feel like the characters are a little bit more established by the time you get to the meat of the story. And so I don't regret starting that one first. I do like Brotherhood better though, but I think they both work pretty well together.
It's the same thing I say with people when you watch the Fate series. Go with the 2006, the vanilla version first. You're just going to get a line of the story and then move on to the Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Field, and all of those afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I should have done because I started with this prequel, which follows up into the other one.
Zero goes with Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
You just get a better feel.
Yeah, Matt Rice was going to say something.
I was going to say, me and my brother enjoyed Greed's story a little bit more in Brotherhood. Like after the part where they mashed it all together, we liked how he got a better version than the original.
Yeah. I do think if they had
he was one major role.
Yeah, he was. To be honest, he did have a bit of a major role in Brotherhood, or
Which
at least
character? I didn't.
Greed.
Greed. Yeah.
Greed.
Yeah.
His character had more of an importance down the road in the show than like in the original. I mean, what I liked about the original is that they kind of fleshed his character a bit and his group. In Brotherhood, they rushed it in that one episode, but his character has a a big impact in the finale, which I liked. Well, I'm trying to think. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, remember that voice actor's mom? She literally said that, yeah, just that one episode. She was there like for the one day to film that specific scene in Full Metal.
Are you talking about Tiffany?
Yeah, Tiffany,
the girl who played Asuka in
Evangelion. Yeah, she remembered that she actually had a little more time in the original, and then in Brotherhood,
right,
one episode.
Yeah. Something that I was going to mention about it was that I actually really liked the English dub in this.
Oh yeah,
I felt like everybody did a really good job. I loved Vic Mignogna, the way he played the character of Edward, and I also liked Roy Mustang. I mean, I liked all of them; they were all really good. Todd, yeah, that's right.
And the girl that does Mikasa.
Who was she again in here?
She's the ninja girl that's with Todd's character.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then Laura Bailey.
Yeah, that's right. As Lust. Yeah.
Oh, even the Fuhrer
characters.
The Fuhrer.
Yeah, they were all really good. I think Armstrong. I like the way Armstrong was done.
Yeah.
Winry got on my nerves a little bit, but I don't know how much of that was the voice actress, because I feel like she did a fine job as Winry.
I think she did a really good job. Like, I think that character, like her voice fit that character.
Yeah, it did fit it. I think maybe it was her character. She kind of aggravated me sometimes. And
she could be a little annoying, but not as annoying as other female characters that I have seen.
Like that little brat in Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? I can't stand her character. What's her name?
Gabby.
Gabby. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So now, I totally know what you mean.
Now, Mom, I like I said, I can't see what the comment section is.
I've been popping up comments that.
But I want to see them.
Do you want me to pop up the latest one again?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking you would read them to me. I'm just looking at the picture.
Oh, you can't see anything at all.
Yes, I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm blind. Unless I just hold on.
Okay.
Oh. And see, when I do that, it goes away.
Well, okay. Well, there were some good. Well, I'm sorry. I thought you just meant you couldn't see the comments through StreamYard. I didn't know you meant you couldn't see your screen at all.
No, that
sucks. Sorry about that. Okay, so the last comment that was made was, in the original is meant for the original Brotherhood is a different beast. It gets to the point. I was attached to a lot of the characters on Brotherhood. I really got a deep understanding on them.
Yes.
Well, there were more episodes in Brotherhood, right?
64.
And how many were in the original?
Yeah, I think so.
51, I believe.
So yeah, you kind of you did get, in the end, you did get more exposure to a lot of the major characters as a whole.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, I kind of wish they had handled the beginning differently, stretched it out.
Yeah, and see, that's okay. This is weird. When Inuyasha the Final Act came out, for some reason, the earlier episodes were almost like a rush too. And I'm thinking, why? Because you've already had the world established, the characters established. Why are you rushing? I don't know. I mean, by that point, it was established. It wasn't even a reboot. It was a sequel.
Wait, you're talking about what? The Final Act?
Yeah.
I never saw that.
It felt kind of rushed a little bit. And I don't know why. It was a sequel. And, Hellsing Ultimate was the same way, too. At least the first one.
With Inuyasha, it may have been that they only gave the director so many episodes. So
yeah, that's possible,
have a season to finish what should be 50 episodes, you're going to have to speed things up.
I guess, but some of it was adapted. I mean, most of what they were adapting was from the books. I don't know. I have issues with anime rushing things. But does anybody else want to add to Full Metal before we cycle here to something else?
I will say this. I liked Original's movie more than the Brotherhood movie.
Than the Brotherhood?
The Star of Milos.
Yeah,
And I like the Brotherhood's OVAs. I never saw the original OVAs, but what I've seen of them, I like the Brotherhood OVAs better.
Oh yeah, we saw that. My sister has them.
Yes,
and I've been actually trying to look for those, but they're expensive.
Isn't the Star of Milos, or however you say that, isn't that the one that wrapped up the original Brotherhood, right?
Or no, that was
Star of Milos was the Brotherhood Quest for Shambhala.
Yeah. That was the one that wrapped up the original.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I like both of the movies.
Yeah, I actually like Sacred Star of Milos. I mean, the animation was okay. It was different.
It was a little bit different, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the animation as much.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but I still liked it. And what's interesting is that I never heard of the event like in Shambhala, that Munich revolt or that Munich riot that happened in Germany.
That it was based on?
Yeah, like it was based on a real thing that Hitler and the Nazis tried to do. And I never knew of that event until I watched or got into Full Metal. And
so you learned some history.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to look up like they actually had a movie about Hitler's lies, and that was one of the things, the Munich.
Okay.
Matt Rice, you have any last comments about Full Metal Brotherhood?
Not really.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll say it's a great anime. It is on my top 10. I would definitely say check it out.
I think it's probably my favorite anime out of all the ones on my list, just because it lasts. Like some of the other ones on my list, I like them, but they're not as long as Full Metal, so you don't have as much to entertain you. If that makes sense. So that's probably why Full Metal is my favorite. And it didn't go on. It wasn't obnoxiously long, like 200, 300, 400 episodes, like some anime. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So something you can easily get into and easily finish. It's not like you feel this overwhelm. Oh my gosh, I've got 100 episodes in. I got 300 more to go.
Okay, so Mom, I will say this: if you're going to get into Gray Man, it is a long runner, but it does.
How long is it?
So the original is like 103, I believe. And then you have Hollow, which is like 12, I think 12 or 13 episodes in.
Okay. So, is that the one you've got? You've got that already, right?
I've got the original, but like I said, the weird thing with the sequel is that they never made like any DVDs for it because there was some issues with the creator and the studio.
Well, does it wrap up at the end of what you've got?
Well, no. I mean, there's still more to tell.
See, then I'm not going to watch it.
It ends to the point where it goes to the sequel, but even the sequel ends with a cliffhanger that you don't.
That's good. I don't like that.
Yeah, but Mom, it's really good. Trust me. Like I really like. It's like another. It's just like Inuyasha. Inuyasha's long, but it's enjoyable, and the characters in there are really good, and it's also just an interesting concept of the 19th century.
I got tired of Inuyasha after a while. That's why I stopped watching it. It was the same thing.
Gave up. I plowed forward and I got to the end, and now they have a sequel.
Okay, so we've got a question here. Since you can see it now, Arturo, right? You can see the questions now. So, have you guys watched? Yes, Bash the Stampede.
Yeah.
Watching again. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's see. I've watched it actually only once, and then I watched it. No, actually, scratch that. I watched it twice, one in English and one in Spanish with Mom. We watched the Spain version. And you got so annoyed at that girl that sounded all,
Which one?
Like
the one
high-pitched voice.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, you got so aggravated of the way the Spanish person was.
Yeah. So voices, I do voices for a living. That's what my profession is based on. And
I actually... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, if it hits my ears wrong, it just really just aggravates me. Like, I don't know. And she did.
You
mean
Trigun?
Trigun. Yeah. Yeah. I like Trigun. I like that movie. The movie was good.
Oh yeah, the movie was that was like one of my favorite movies to also air on Toonami. It was a blast. Chuck Huber's in that one too. and Vic.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw, poor Don. I wish I was able to watch anime with Mom.
Yeah, but Mom, I think if we were to revisit Trigun, you would want to watch, I guess, the English version because of Johnny Young Bosch. I think he did a good job.
He was the main. Was he Vash, right?
Yeah, he was Vash the Stampede. It's weird. See, when I first watched it, I felt like the goofiness, like at first, it was like, okay, when is it going to get anywhere? Because because he was kind of a little goofy.
He was.
But once it started like going more into it, you realize he's actually hiding his darker part.
Yeah, he's covering it up. That's why he acts that way. Yeah,
and
then it makes sense.
And then it goes places.
Yeah,
one of the points, and it really breaks him. And
the manga
part of the plan.
What's that?
The manga is a lot longer. The thing that got me with the anime is once I figured out what they did with it was the first 16 episodes or the first Trigun manga, and then from right where there's that little time skip, that's all Trigun Maximum.
I don't know anything about the manga, so I'm not sure.
It's a little and they watered with what I've heard with the manga is that they watered the anime down. The manga is a lot more violent with Maximum.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I have one of the books.
I have the first two. I have the complete Trigun series, and then Maximum. It's on I'm going to rebuy the huge collection. It also had a pseudo sequel. I think Gungrave.
Oh, Gungrave! I've heard of that.
Gungrave was a video game, and in the anime, you can see characters watching a TV program that has the little chicken things that they ride.
Oh, wait. So is it the same universe?
It may be. It may not be. I think what I've heard is it takes place on the same planet.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But it's like hundreds of years after the events of Trigun.
Really? Well, Bash. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to say. I don't know.
It's a sequel, but it's one of those sequel things where it doesn't really have anything from the original.
Okay,
that's what I was going to ask.
Like the little animals.
Okay, I heard of that anime, and I heard from at least Kendall's, I think, uncle. I think he said, I think it was the uncle. He said it was actually really good.
It was, and it was on TV.
Okay, well, I gotta check that one out. But
it was on
I guess
T4.
So I love Vash goofiness. It really made me love his character. He is so misunderstood.
Definitely in the beginning, for sure, before you realize why he's behaving the way he's behaving.
There was that one. Okay, let's just say there is a specific character death, and he still tries to act, goofy, but then you just see him break down. You can't do it anymore. Yeah, it's
been so long since I've seen that.
I kind of want to rewatch it again for a review.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so who else wants to go next with their list?
Well, if we go clockwise, then you would be next, Arturo.
Okay. Well, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was obviously mine on my list, but the next one, let me actually just pull it up.
So you didn't pick an alternate?
Nope.
Okay, so you're going to only have two then that we talk about.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on just a
minute here.
Hold on. Quoting my granddad.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
This one would be yours.
Yeah, I like you guys
because you love Sango.
Okay, hold on. We'll get to that in a sec. So, I would think, Mom, you would have liked this anime because it's time travel in a sense. A girl from the 20th century goes all the way back to the feudal era during a time of war and demons.
I did like it. I started watching it before you did. And I liked it. I liked also the voice acting when I found out the guy who did the voice of Inuyasha. I really appreciated that because he actually played in a show that I used to watch called The Young Black Stallion. He played the character of Alec. So that's how I knew about him. And then I found out he did, what's his name? Richard Ian Cox or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And then I found out he did the voice of Inuyasha, and I thought he sounded really good. And
oh yeah, he fit that character.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
I cannot see anybody else fit him.
Exactly. So I watched a few episodes of that, and then you and I watched way beyond that, but we never finished. I got tired of the repetitive nature of it. And what's her name? The girl, Kagome? Oh, she irritates the ever.
Yeah, she's not. She's not my favorite. She's not okay. She's probably less annoying in the final act.
Okay.
But obviously, yes, I got to go with Sango. She's badass.
Yes, you wanted to
hands down badass.
You wanted to marry her.
I loved her, and I wanted to marry her. Yes, to be honest, Mom, she's the whole reason I got into it.
Well, she is a cool character. I did like her character, and I like the character of the monk, which is really sad now, knowing that the guy who did his voice is gone.
I don't. Okay, so people that don't see, for a while we didn't know the cause of death. Well, apparently Wikipedia updated it, and this is sad news, but apparently he died 8 days after his dad, and the cause of death was substance abuse, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't think it got more specific than that. Is his mother still alive?
I really don't know. Maybe.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, if she was. Oh.
Well, he's got a brother.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot of tragedy in one family in such a short amount of time.
And he came back to reprise his role for the sequel, Yashahime.
Yeah.
And now, the guy that actually hired him back then is now taking his role. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really going to be hard now to watch it, knowing that he's not here anymore. But he also fit that character, Moroku. He was a really big pervert in this show.
He was so ridiculous.
Like, you like Sango, but you want to hang out with the other girls.
Yeah, he was just
what I like
one of those types.
What's that?
He was just one of those types of guys, I guess.
Yeah. But I think what I also like about the show is just the tragedy of all the characters because of one villain that screwed up
so much heartache. Yeah.
Yeah, so Inuyasha loved a girl named Kikyo. He caused their conflict to happen. He gave Moroku, his descendants, the wind tunnel, which could swallow him whole, like everybody else in his family, including his dad. Then you had Sango in one day lose her family. She gets beaten up and surprisingly comes out of the grave, still cranking. That's why I like her. And and then Shishomaru is pissed at the main guy because he tried to poison him. So everybody's just after the guy.
You forgot about Shippo.
Shippo, was Shippo's tragedy related to Naraku? I don't think so. But yeah, Shippo's there. He's a little fox demon. And he kind of, Matt, would you say he's like a little bit of a coward sometimes?
He's younger, so it's more of a little kid thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with what's his name? Miyoga? The flea.
Oh yeah, Miyoga.
The little flea.
Mm-hmm.
The one that would flee.
That's the flea that would flee.
He flees. And you know what's funny? The guy that voiced him is the guy that voiced Naraku. Could you believe that?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The guy's really talented.
Oh wow. Okay. That's
Who is worse, him or
Pervy Sage?
Naruto. Oh. Wait, who was the wait, is he talking about the guy with the white hair? I think that's what he's talking about, the guy in Naruto. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen Naruto, so
I've seen it.
Jiraiya.
Yeah, Jiraiya.
There's a character she did that was actually worse in Rama.
Oh, well, that's the same person that made Inuyasha. So,
oh
yeah.
The other thing I could add to it, I like the fact that there's time travel, and obviously the characters' motivations. I mean, it's a long runner, and I know there were some arcs that were better than others, but it was still a great show with great characters. So yeah, obviously one of my favorite characters is Sango, and then the other is Shishomaru. Shishomaru,
Yeah, I like Shishomaru.
Yeah, Shishomaru is like he's the half brother of Inuyasha. He's just calm, collective, and as much as he doesn't care about humans, he takes this girl Rin, who actually did get killed, and he brought her back to life with his sword, and she just tags along the entire, journey.
Yeah, he acts like he doesn't want her around, but you can tell that he's attached to her.
Yeah, in the final act, you see another side of him. Let's just say.
Okay. All right.
But they go through the venture, and what I actually like about this show is some of the historical parts about it, because I never knew much about feudal Japan, because at the time feudal Japan, they were kind of isolated from they were actually really isolated from the rest of the world until America came around and just said, hey, let's do some trade. So,
or is also the Dutch traders.
Oh, really? I thought it was also the Americans too. They came around.
It might have been both.
Yeah, because Japan realized that they were really behind in like technology. But and that's, I think, the other reason why some of the guns, like in that movie with it's Tom Cruise, right? That was in that movie, The Final Samurai or Last Samurai.
Oh, The Last Samurai.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've seen that.
I don't know much of the accuracy, like when it comes to the history part. I just know, I'm going to assume, is that the Americans brought over that stuff, and Japan wanted to, catch up. Yeah, but you can see like just that whole period of time with Japan. It's interesting. That's what kind of also got me into it, is the historical aspect too. But mostly the main plot of it all I really liked. And now the final act came around and it concluded it. This show really had some dark points too. I mean, they said this was more of her darker stories than her other ones. And then now we have the sequel, which I'm really looking forward to watching.
I've seen it.
Which also
You've seen it already?
Yeah, the first 18 episodes are subbed. Like the first 10 are dubbed.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for it to get to 15 and then binge.
Oh, and so you're waiting to see it then until you get until there's more episodes.
Great detail right now.
No spoilers.
Let's just say the time travel aspect of that is also really interesting, but I don't want to say for those that are, wanting to get into the series, want to know what happens, and even in the sequel. Interesting characters. It's also, well, technically I was watching anime on Toonami.
Here we go. This touches Japan, on what you were talking about, Arturo.
Okay, Japan was closed off. Then the Americans forced them to. Forced them.
Of course they did.
Trade with the U.S. sometime in the 19th century. Then Japan quickly modernized. Well, okay. There's a yin and yang on that. Did we force trade? Did we really force trade them? Yes, because we could be jerks sometimes, but on the other hand, we helped Japan catch up.
And now look where they are. I mean, they're so like some of the stuff coming out of Japan. It's amazing.
Like Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I mean, just technology and stuff like that too. I mean, they make some of the best stories as far as like anime.
Yeah,
primarily from Japan, and they have a lot of good stories that to me are often much more captivating than the stuff coming from the States.
Well, yeah, it's because the problem is we're kind of going towards that wokeness too, and Japan doesn't really
that's true.
Not really. See, the issue is Sony's they decide to go to America, so they're kind of going to the censoring stuff, but Japan, no, they tell a story, they make sure the characters are all good. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs with them, but overall, most of the stories have been really interesting, really fun. And I just like anime a lot. I mean, there are cartoons I like, but anime has always been something I really liked a lot. And that's also thanks to Toonami and Adult Swim too.
Right.
See, at the time, I didn't consider these animes anime. I thought they were cartoons. Like I was watching some of Yu Yu Hakusho. I was watching Big O and Astro Boy from the 2003 version. But Inuyasha, when
Sorry, I'm
what?
getting distracted by this guy.
It was Admiral Matthew Perry who showed up off the coast of Japan with powerful warships and said, "You have to let us in or face consequences."
I totally believe that.
Or face.
Holy cow.
Beer.
Oh, Lord. That's funny.
But
That's
Inuyasha was
funny.
actually the first anime to get me into like the anime genre, and that's when I first heard the term anime.
Okay.
So I could say Inuyasha would probably be the first, even though I was watching anime already. I thought they were cartoons.
Well, they are technically cartoons.
Yeah.
It's just it's a different style that has its own name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of my favorites of all time. It's got its issues, but I hold it deep in my heart as one that got me into it. And it's a childhood memory too.
Yeah.
Matt Ayer, do you have anything to say? Or Matt Rice?
I like.
I mean, I've seen
I
it.
did like
I liked
Inuyasha.
it.
Go ahead.
You can go, Matt. I'll go after you.
No, I was just saying I mean, I liked it. I mean, I remember when it was first on TV. I watched it then.
Yeah.
I've seen some of her other work as well, like Rama.
I'm kind of interested to watch that because it's got that 80s feel.
I don't think I haven't seen that. You guys.
What I was gonna say was,
go ahead.
That I like the final act better because it just felt like it was a better closer.
Yeah. Yeah, the original it ended like with a cliffhanger, and then it finally came back and wrapped it up. And boy, I was happy when they brought that sequel. I was like, wait, what?
I know you were.
It was like basically it aired nearly like 11 years when the final act aired. Same day. Same date.
Oh yeah.
Or same date, I mean. All right, so that's that. What else do you who else wants to start?
Well, since we're going in the circle, I'll go next. I've got 3 on my list. I changed Brotherhood, or just Full Metal, and I added another one to talk about instead. This is a more recent one, and it is a Kamika Kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that. We saw that I watched the entire thing with you guys on Toonami. And it was pretty short. It feels like it was pretty short, but
25, about like 20.
Yeah, but it was really well done. I liked the voice acting and I liked the art style. And I liked the story. It went in directions I was not expecting. There were some things that were really disappointing to me that was like, oh man, really?
They consider this Game of Thrones an anime version of it.
Exactly. It's kind of like that, right? Don't get attached because they might die. And I enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but and I'm specifically talking about, for purposes of this discussion, I'm specifically talking about anime that I have actually finished. So there are others I would put on this list, like Blue Exorcist, but I haven't seen season 2. So I'm not going to count that. This is actually a show that I did watch start to finish, and so that's why it makes it.
I gotta say, it was probably a pretty dark anime to tell you, do not get attached to nobody, like nada, period. Sorry, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it certainly went places I was not expecting at all.
Well, see, the manga, from what I've seen, it has, I mean, it kind of follows a little bit of what the anime did at the end, but it's also different. There's at least 2 characters that do live, but there's stuff that happens with one of them, and I think it kind of concludes similar to the anime. I mean, Matt, do you have the mangas?
No, I don't have the mangas yet. Some of the mangas if you wait long enough, they will do collections.
Yeah.
Instead of buying like volume 1, you get 1 through 3. You get like a hardback cover. The pages are a little nicer. Kind of like what they did with Full Metal Alchemist, where I bought the first volume of it, right? Then a couple of years later, I bought 1 through 3, right? And went, great. But you could see through the pages.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, and then I'm going to talk. I'm going to address Cullen directly.
And then I rebought it, misreading which volume I saw, like something on 4, or no, it was 7, and thought, oh, they're re-releasing each volume individually, not looking at the chapter numbers in a hardback form, and then realized it was different pages, but the pages are a lot nicer. You can't see through the pages. It's thicker. There's more
better
content.
Quality.
Yeah, it's a lot better quality. So if you wait long enough, this may get a full collection. I'm aiming for that.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah.
Okay. So Colin says, this sounds like one I'm going to have to check out. I love Game of Thrones. What I was going to ask you is, it's not as long as Game of Thrones. What I was going to ask you is, have you finished Game of Thrones?
Oh, well,
yeah.
Okay, Colin, I'm going to tell you this. My mom, let's just say my mom does not want to even hear it anymore.
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones went from being one of my favorite shows ever to being a show that when I think about it, I actually get angry and I want to forget about it completely. So, but
Colin, run away from that subject quickly because my mom will explode.
With regard to Game of Thrones, and the reason we mention that is, like Arturo was saying, no character is really safe. You get attached to a character, and they'll probably end up dead. So, hold on. Yeah, but the last season, well, sad is a nice way to put it. They were absolutely awful.
Oh my! Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! The last season, there was hope. They could have turned things around in the last season, but they screwed it up because the show creators revealed that they actually can't write. They can't write worth crap.
I think I could do better than that.
They can't. They had the framework. They knew where it was supposed to go, but the way they got us there was terrible.
Yeah.
It just still makes me so mad to think about it. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off my Game of Thrones rant.
I mean, it is kind of hard to write a story.
Well, certainly, but that's no excuse to have bad writing, especially when the first 5 seasons were so excellent.
Yeah.
And what happened is, I don't know who I blame more, the show creators or George R.R. Martin for taking so freaking long to finish his books, because they had all those. Yeah, at least 2 more.
Yeah.
And he went forever.
Mm-hmm.
He still hasn't even come out with the book that was supposed to come out a long time ago.
Winds of Winter was 2015 was its original release date.
Yeah, it's still not out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out a long time ago.
Sprinter. They are doing a spin-off. It's supposed to be coming out this year.
I heard, exactly. Yes, that's what they did. I also feel like they went places that they weren't supposed to go. Like the whole story with the Night King and Arya coming in and being the one to kill the Night King. What? That made no sense at all. And the whole Jon Snow, it's like they built up these characters and then they did nothing with them. So I don't know I don't know how much of that was them, or if that's really what George R.R. Martin intended as far as that storyline goes. But yeah, it's like they just, and then they also made it a shorter season.
Yeah,
so that was disappointing.
Because they wanted to go to Star Wars.
Well, they're not doing Star Wars now, and I don't even know if that other series is going to happen, Matt, the one you were talking about.
There was one that was canceled. They did a pilot, and they said it was like Downton Abbey in Game of Thrones. They canceled that one, but apparently the other one that they're doing is going to be made. Okay, well,
that's why
it's
I have
end of this
zero
year.
interest. I don't even care. That's how angry they made me. I don't even care.
He's gonna
Okay.
turn into the Hulk.
What's that, Matt?
It has Matt Smith.
Yeah, but I don't care. They ticked me off too much with the way they handled it. So I'm just like, no, there's too many other shows and movies I'd rather go spend my time on now. Okay, so I'm done talking about a Kamika Kill. I can't think of anything else to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
I was able to get a collection of it. I mean, I actually have one of the DVDs, but yeah, I was able to get it during the holiday season. So
yeah, we watched it on Tsunami. That was fun.
yeah, those were really fun nights. There was maybe one issue I had with it.
Okay, what was that?
Remember that one episode that was kind of a little out there?
You'll have to remind me. I don't remember the specific.
It was the attack on their base, and one of the scientists kind of turned into this like creature or something.
Oh, yeah. Was he floating up in the sky or something?
Well, he became like this sort of beast thing with part of his body, his torso on the I guess on the creature or whatever. He turned into something, he infected himself.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten all about that. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the weirdness of Akira.
Yeah, that I mean, maybe not as overblown, but still weird.
Yeah.
I remember we watched that at our cousins, and Lisa was like, "Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Of all the episodes to play,
it had to be. I mean, it did introduce
so much for their introduction to anime. You know, so much for getting them interested in anime.
But overall, that was just one episode. The rest,
the rest were fine.
And obviously the villain in there, the girl. I mean, she was kind of funny, just all in love with one of the characters. You know?
Yeah, I've forgotten about a lot of the story. This is just my memory of how I felt about it overall.
Basically, just fighting against the corrupt government.
Yeah, that.
Okay, well, Matt, I think you're up.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this one. It is called Aura Battle with Gunpei. It's a mecha from the 80s.
I have not.
Anime.
Aura Battle of Gunpei, you say?
Aura Battle Gunpei.
Okay, yeah, let me
share. We never got the movie. We never got the movie, and we never got the retelling OVA.
I don't think I've heard of this one. What's it about?
Okay, so before I start with that, it was one of those where they re-released it originally in like 2004, 2005, if not a little earlier or later. ADV had the rights to it. I don't know if they did the dub or if Sentai went back and redid the dub. But it's been around for a while. It was originally done in the 80s.
Okay.
And then it got over here in 2000 or more wide release in 2000. And then when Sentai picked it up, they put on their streaming service and re-released the Blu-rays.
So, Mom, Matt, you say it's the company that dubbed it was ADV, you say?
I don't know if ADV dubbed it. There's a chance ADV just did the subtitled, and then Sentai went back and redubbed it when they got the rights to it.
Okay, so Mom, sorry, go ahead.
There could also be an older dub floating around from like the 90s.
So ADV, Mom, that was a company that dubbed most of the anime that we probably have seen, like maybe prior to Funimation.
No, ADV and Funimation were around at the same time.
Okay,
Sentai is what took ADV's place.
Yeah, so ADV used to dub most of the stuff that at least that I've seen. Did they dub Witch Hunter Robin?
No, that was Bandai Visual.
Okay.
And then that went to Funimation.
That's something how you just know this information off the top of your head, Matt.
Yep, I've been watching this stuff.
Yeah, ADV, Mom, it went out of business. I think.
Okay.
2009?
I figured.
Yeah, the ADV went out of business, and Geneon Entertainment went back to Japan, and then they made a deal with Universal, and they still work with like Funimation and other companies. They did the Bubblegum Crisis anime.
I only heard part of what he said.
The like 2001. They did Neon Genesis Evangelion. Nadia, Secret of Blue Water. They originally had one of the Sailor Moon dubs. The original Kino's Journey. They did a bunch of those.
Yeah, they did a lot. And
Macross, they actually did get the rights to the first series and dubbed the first all the first series. What I liked about this anime is just kind of what they did with the story. Like, you would have to watch it to, like, because it's someone being pulled out of like 1980s Japan to a fantasy world, right?
Okay.
And then he's forced to fight in these like giant robots because people from our world apparently have psychic powers that run some of these robots. And he doesn't like the person that kind of like dragged him over here, so he switches sides.
Oh,
but what I really liked about it is they do that thing where 14 or in a certain number of episodes he comes back to his world. Okay, so you see 1980s like the world, 1980s world having to deal with like a couple of giant robots fighting, and you would think it's a one-shot episode, right? Well, when they go back, they eventually come back again, but with larger ships and more people. So it's not one of those typical like we're going to a fantasy world and there's no consequences in the real world.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ramifications in the real world based on what's going on in the fantasy world. How many episodes are in it?
And there are 49 episodes.
49, okay.
There are 49 episodes. And our world, it's pretty realistic. It's not like we have like flying cars or special weapons. It's literally just fighter jets. For which they didn't do a lot of real world type battles back in the 80s. Like that with more fantasy stuff.
So this is kind of like another world coming to invade ours, sort of.
Yeah,
it's a little more complex, and that's one of the things that does kind of damage the series is when they try to go into some of the mythology of the other world, it doesn't all make a whole lot of sense.
Oh, really?
But overall, I liked it. I think if you like older anime, you would enjoy it. The dub's not the best, but it's pretty good. Especially, I think they got newer or more modern voice actors. So it's not one of that like grainy like 80s
cheesiness.
Oh yeah, or the fact that they had to like add in like extra dubs because they cut episodes originally. I mean, I enjoy it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll check it out because I've been wanting to find some animes from the 80s to watch.
Yeah, you'd probably like it. Sounds like something you would like, Arturo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess whose turn is it now?
It's Matt's.
Matt Rice's.
Okay, let me stop sharing the else.
Sally was looking up something.
Okay, Matt Rice, you're up.
Okay, so I guess I'll do Bleach for me second.
Bleach.
All right.
Okay.
Is Bleach done?
Technically, Bleach. Yes and no. Oh. It's done manga-wise, but they're trying to finish it. They're doing the final arc this year.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like it has like 400 episodes, but only 366 of that is actual canon.
Oh.
Yeah, and the rest is filler.
Oh.
165 is filler. Yeah, but It's a great story. I just hope that they fix what they did in the manga, because I am not a fan of how it ended. But how it began and everything, I like. It's an interesting concept. It's
What is
about
the premise?
it's about gods of death, basically, and how they take people to the other world, like ghosts, and how people can turn into monsters if left alone too long.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
Grim Reapers, I think.
And
I didn't know that was what it was about.
yeah, and then it gets really, really complicated. Like after like season 3, when after you get past the first filler arc, it gets really complicated.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, with that many episodes, it's bound to get pretty complicated.
Yeah, a lot of people thought they should have stopped after season 3, but I mean, if you would have stopped, you wouldn't have got the whole concept of why this one person did what he did, which ends up happening to, you find out like why in the final arc. It's still like it's an annoying like how many episodes, but I mean I enjoyed it only due to the fact that the premise of the show and how like they know that there's actually an afterlife after they die, because you can die, but the place where they go to after you die is like another world where the people watch over the people, kind of. It's really like the outside of the Soul Society. There's like a slums. Those are, I think, all the people who are dead.
Okay, I think.
And
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's called the Rukon District, and people from the Rukon District can be made into a Soul Reaper. It's just, I think, really hard to do. But they get all into that like later.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was gonna say. Well, I remember that one random Halloween episode they have towards the end fight thing. I think you know which episode I'm talking about, Matt.
I do, and I don't ever want to. I never thought you would mention it, because it's the weirdest thing ever. They like have the weirdest feelers ever. It's just random.
Well, remember in Naruto Shippuden they had robot or Mecha Naruto.
Yeah, but this one had nothing to do with anything.
They needed to have an extra episode to go past.
So my experience with... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, but they could have just added on to the filler that they could have added one more filler episode to the long filler that they were already doing, instead of adding like a short episode in between.
So someone here said, I lived in Japan during the 80s. The anime Dragon Ball Z was titled Dragon Ball Z with the Z.
Dragon Balls.
Dragon Balls? Yeah.
So the reason I laughed when I saw this comment is because
of Chuck Huber?
Yes, this ties into what Chuck Huber was saying. I thought he was just mispronouncing the name of the anime, but it must have been when he first started working on it. It was called Dragon Balls at the time,
and he was like, "It sounds like porn."
Yeah, he said it sounds like porn, and they're like, "Oh, it's Japanese cartoon." He's like, "Oh, it's definitely porn."
Yeah.
So that's what made me. I did not know that.
I think I recorded that when he said that on my YouTube.
Well, he also mentioned that in the interview I had with him.
Yeah.
So he said that in the panels, because one of the most common questions he gets asked is, how did you get started in voice acting? And so that's his story. And I just always thought he was being funny, but I didn't realize until this point that he must have been referring to exactly what he was talking about there.
We found
Dragon Balls.
We found out today. Today marks a point in our lives where we figured out.
We'll learn something new every day.
So back to Bleach. Yeah, my experience with Bleach is I remember it was on Adult Swim, and I saw some stuff, like some clips of it. Didn't really get what it was about. I mean, it looked interesting, but around that time, I was also getting into, I think, Inuyasha. So I was all obsessed with Inuyasha at the time. And then they played it on Toonami, which that's where I kind of started. I started wherever they were airing it. And I got to that one arc where they were fighting Aizen, and then they went to the filler arc with the girl with the green hair that escaped a lab, and then they got to the final arc that concluded like the anime. I mean, I think the characters are interesting. My problem with it is just it's too long. Like really long.
What's the significance of what does Bleach mean with regard to this story? Why did they title it that?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Really?
Isn't it like white? And isn't in Japan death is associated with white, not black? So it's bleaching everything white.
I guess.
I want to.
Oh.
That sounds. I would look that up, but that's why, like, they wear black is the opposite of death.
I didn't know that.
You look it up. I heard something about that. I don't really know.
Well, the title has some white on it, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch plays the main character. He seems to play most main characters in most animes.
Okay, you know what? It says here that as far as why the manga is called Bleach, it was never officially claimed or clarified. Sorry, I misread it. It was never officially clarified. So
do they bleach demons then? They just gotta clean them?
I mean, it says here.
Let's bleach those demons.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks to me like there's just a bunch of speculation. My only awareness of Bleach came about with regard to the manga. And I mean, I knew it was an anime, but it came about with regard to the manga because my brother Matthew was working on an art project with Gene Simmons' son, Gene Simmons from Kiss, the band Kiss, with his son, and he was doing some type of manga, and my brother Matt was working on. I don't remember if he was doing the inking or the coloring or what it was. And then at least one volume or issue got released, at least one, maybe more. And then later it started to filter out that Gene Simmons' son had actually, it was very obvious he had been plagiarizing images from the Bleach manga. Because when they would show the stuff that he had done and right beside the Bleach picture, it was exactly the same. Maybe he changed the hair color. That was it. You know, little stuff like that. It was very obvious he had lifted it from the other work. And so because of that, the project he was working on that got immediately scrapped, and it was just like so embarrassing, just ridiculous. Embarrassing for people that were working on it, that had put all this time and effort into it, only for that work to be just completely trashed, basically, because this guy, you know, was doing what he did. So
yeah, that must have really sucked for Matt.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Bleach until that happened, and then that was my first. Yeah, I'd never heard of Bleach.
I mean, I think I knew of it around that time.
I didn't. Well, maybe I recognized the name, but I had no idea anything about it at all. Like, because sometimes you hear, so that was like my first introduction to this whole story and everything. But I've never been interested to watch it for the exact same reason that Arturo mentioned. It's just very long.
No, just go through. You can watch it every day.
Oh no, I don't have time.
It's
I don't have time.
Yeah, like here's the thing. I'm interested. Wait, what did he say? 80s hentai was everywhere for children, but if an adult hurts a child in Japan, they pay dearly.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
Learn something every day.
I
But
know. It's
like here's the
interesting.
thing with Bleach. From what I've seen, I like the art design. I like the characters. To be honest, there's a lot of characters in this show, and I'm not sure if all of them get like a full. I think they do. I mean, what this show went on for like 400 episodes, so surely they would have showed a lot of the characters what they would do. Blah blah blah. It's so long. As much as I would like to sit down and maybe watch it, I mean, I could maybe watch certain seasons and then stop.
Or do they have a guideline that tells you these are the, what is it, 266 episodes you said that were canon?
Yeah.
Like, if they list those.
366.
Okay, yeah, 366, but how many episodes are there total? 400 and what?
I think, like, I don't know. I just looked up how many were not filler.
Okay. So, like, maybe there's a guide that tells you. You could just watch the ones that are canon.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing 366 non-filler and then 165 filler. So I think like 520 something.
Oh, wow. Even more episodes than we thought.
Well,
and that's not counting the actual final arc that's trying to come out this year.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Well, but like I said, I started off with whatever Toonami was airing. Yeah. So I got some gist of things, but you would have to go all the way back to the first episode and make your way up. I'm like,
it's a big time commitment.
Like, see, Fairy Tail I've been watching, and I don't even know if I'll really fully complete it because it's so dang long.
Yeah.
I mean, see, okay, with Black Clover started on Toonami. I've watched it. It's like maybe up to 148. Now, surprisingly, I got pretty addicted to that show because it actually got better as it kept going. My problem is if it goes up to a point where just filler, and then it's going to just, get too long.
Black Clover's not going to do that. They announced that they're going to end the first anime.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you told me about that.
And then what they're going to let the manga go. They're going to do what they did with Naruto Shippuden, where you have Black Clover and then you have Black Clover something else. And then it's going to continue. But you got to go through all the episodes of Bleach. You need to go through the episode.
I mean,
the Halloween episode.
I know one.
No.
Whenever Matt gets this tone to his voice.
But you just need to do so and so.
Yeah, but you gotta, that he's got an ulterior motive in mind.
He's gotta watch Redo Healer, which he's been pestering me about.
But also, any episode with Cone, all those filler, and Matt knows what I'm talking about.
Boy.
I can only expect that it's.
I gotta watch the movie with Cone in it. That's how better the movie is with Cone than the filler.
Yeah.
And that's just the third movie.
Inuyasha had some filler, which some were good, some were okay. Yeah. I think the one filler that actually got me into that show was the one about the demon rats and Sango and her brother. That was the one that got me into that show. And that was actually a decent filler. So there are good filler in some animes. It's just that they do it too much.
Yeah.
Matt,
kind of gets you off track.
Yeah.
Matt, is the thing about the swords filler?
Unfortunately, yes. It is. It's considered filler, but it's also filler canon.
Yeah,
it's filler canon, but it's more filler than canon. But it's filler canon.
And doesn't it go on like really long? Isn't it like 40 episodes, if I'm remembering correctly?
They cut it immediately in half because they do one part where it's just an invasion, and then the other part they do it where they're trying to rekindle everything.
Yeah, and isn't there like actual canon episodes in between that? Like,
yes, that's what's annoying.
The battles. Yeah.
Yes, that's what's annoying. They actually put canon inside of canon.
Man,
I think it's because of the holidays were nearby, and that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Because like you see a random Halloween episode, and near already canon episode, and you're just like, what?
Oh, I think you know what? When I was watching it on Toonami, they kind of did something like that. The character Rukia, the girl with the black hair, they I think it was either before the time skip or something. They just randomly added this episode with her, I think her brother, and some festival. I'm thinking, okay, why, what are we doing here?
Backstory, character development.
Well,
we already got character development.
Okay, well, do you have anything else to say about Bleach, Matt Rice?
Yes. Not a lot of people. I know a lot of people don't understand this, but the final one that was aired on TV, a lot of people think that's filler. It's actually not.
Wow,
it's
really?
Canon. Yeah, it's canon because it actually has to do with the final arc. Like, it's legitimately leading up to what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking it was filler for some reason.
Boruto did the same thing.
No, because they still have to do Can't Feel Your Own World, which is a novel. But I think they're going to finish the show first and then do that because it's it's a spin-off, basically. Because it's in the same universe, but it's dealing with a different person.
Oh, yeah, the Burn of the Witch. That's set in London, and it has to do with witches and stuff.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, that one I was
deals with but Can't Feel Your Own World does deal with the same people. It's just it deals with a different main character.
Okay. Yeah, so Mom, there's actually a spin-off of this. It's Burn of the Witch.
Okay.
It looks pretty interesting. It has to do with witches in London.
Well, I like the title already. I'm intrigued by the title.
Well, see, that's
I think it's supposed.
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's supposed to be the EU version of the Soul Society, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like the Europe version. Yeah, the European, and I think the one that we know is the American or Japan. I don't know.
Well, I think in Bleach it's the Japanese one. Meanwhile, the Burn of the Witch is the European one, except it's in London, England.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I was actually interested to watch. Is just that it makes me intrigued to watch Bleach. I just don't like the fact that Bleach is. I don't like to watch long shows like that, though.
Well, you could always do this. Watch the first episode, skip to the Halloween episode, and then watch the last.
Oh my god!
No.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, maybe someday I'll watch it. It's just I've kind of already started at a point where it jumped already like 100 episodes ahead, and I started wherever they were playing it. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just start here because it's a long runner.
Look, Arturelia, I told you if we happen to watch the final one, I'll just tell you what you need to know because it really you got most of everything.
Yeah,
you really do. I think what you did. I think you just missed the invasion of the Soul Society, and that's not really hard to explain.
I remember the one arc that actually kind of somewhat intrigued me, even though I wasn't really watching, was when Rukia was going to be executed and the friends.
Yeah, that's the invasion.
Yeah, that's at the beginning.
Yeah, that's the invasion.
Yeah,
and the interesting part, Mom, is that it's got a Hispanic in here.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Matt, the vampire arc.
Oh, there's a vampire arc?
And no.
Oh, okay.
No, it's vampire-esque. It's again filler, but it's kind of canon because they kind of mention the guy later.
I already can tell by your reaction and Matt's laughter that okay, I know where it's going. So
it's filler and it's canon that he's mentioned like 3 other times in a show, but nothing else.
It's like Boruto, where they added the novels into the anime to extend the anime, and the episodes seem to be filler, but in reality, they're all canon. So the 2 episodes where this one girl becomes an actress is technically canon, even though it should be a filler arc. and I think the drawing episode's also canon.
Mm.
Which Boruto's
Well, I'm not going to
shorter than
watch it
Bleach.
anyway, so
It's only
yeah, I knew
180
that
some
much.
episodes.
Oh, only. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
would not recommend watching Bleach if you don't want to watch long stuff.
I mean, the thing is, it looks so good, yet it's too long.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Well,
also,
if you watch
ever
one
wanna finish it
episode a
with me,
day,
I'll let you know.
if you watch one episode a day, Arturo, you'd be almost done with it by the end of the year.
I would probably, I might just skip around, to be honest.
Oh, hi, Dave from Ireland. I'm sorry we're keeping you up. If you have to go to sleep, then please go to sleep. Please rest. We're just talking about anime, and this will be up later. It's
well, I mean, some animes are based in Ireland, so you might find it interesting.
Yeah,
like the Burn of the Witch is set in like London area. I mean, that's close.
Well, that's not Ireland, though.
No,
it is close to Ireland.
In the sort of general area.
We like anime too. Okay.
But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So who going next?
You're next.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah, we're doing the circle.
Okay, well I have one more.
This would just be your last one for you.
Na.
Since you didn't pick an alternate.
Okay, well, I've got to thank this anime for getting me into a specific genre that I wasn't really crazy about.
Okay.
That's got to be Hellsing or Hellsing.
Okay.
Ultimate.
See, you picked Hellsing, then that means I don't have anything else after my. Okay, wait a second. I got to think of an alternate because I was going to mention Hellsing and Hellsing.
Well, no, we could both mention together. That's what Matt Rice and I did.
Yeah, I know.
Let's just do it. Do it. Just do it. Make your.
Well, there was another one I was thinking about if one of mine got mentioned again. So,
but yeah, I got to thank this series for really getting me into vampires. I was not interested. Like I was always interested in zombies. And only zombies.
Yes, you love your zombies. Hellsing was one of the first anime that I started watching, and I love Crispin Freeman's work in here.
Oh yeah, he did a good job in that.
Absolutely, good night. His voice, holy cow!
And his laugh too. I like his laugh.
I know.
He sounds like Dracula when he laughs.
Yeah. This is good. Very bloody.
And I gotta okay, so there was an original version which around the time my mom was watching Witch Hunter Robin, or I think it was Inuyasha and Full Metal you were watching, and then you watched that. The original. You never finished the original until I was interested, I think.
Well, yeah, see, but I did finally finish it. That was why Hellsing was going to be on my list. But yeah, I started it and then didn't finish.
And the original, it's good. I like it. It's kind of like the original Fullmetal Alchemist. You start there, you establish the characters. Hellsing Ultimate is like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a reboot.
Yeah.
The first episode, to be honest, the only episode that would seem to rush things a little bit was the first episode. Then after that, everything's pretty like chill, not too fast.
I don't think the original had an official, ending, right? Did it?
I mean, it did have an ending. There could have been more. So much anime today.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from now. And back in the day, when you watched anime, it was almost like you were one of those weird people, those weird kids. Like back in like the 80s and 90s when it wasn't as so easy to watch. It was kind of a very sort of
thing,
not very well known or popular thing. And it was a lot of people that watched it almost kind of had to hide that they watched it because they would be scorned by people.
I've been reading his book, and man, at the time they were either like people in school that would talk about it when it was on Toonami, or just it wasn't a thing. It wasn't at its height like it is now.
Now it's popular to like anime now.
Yeah.
So,
but back to Hellsing. I like this concept of a specific vampire, a well-known vampire that most people know, but I don't know if I really want to go into details about this specific vampire. Let's just say he's very powerful. and he works for the Helsing organization. Now, if you don't know what the Helsing group is, they are an organization that were founded by Van Helsing.
Well, honestly, Arturo, it's not that much of a spoiler to say who he is, because this is part of all traces back to Bram Stoker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the original story of Dracula. He's Dracula, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So the vampire is Alucard. Now, try to spell that what, backwards? Or
Dracula.
No? Yeah. So Dracula is basically working with a group that defeated him.
Because they defeated him. That's why they sort of, I guess they recognized his power, right? And they decided to harness it for themselves.
And he's very well. Crispin Freeman made this point. Alucard is bored.
Yeah.
He's like so bored, because think about it. You live so long, you could kill anybody with a click of your finger. I'm bored. Yeah. And he would only obey the girl like on the right because she stood up to him. He, I guess, tried to scare her, and she stood up to him. And
I think he definitely has an attachment to her for sure. And he has an attachment to Saris too.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a child, sort of like a.
Yeah, he feels, I think, probably sort of fatherly. I feel like she has a crush on him. That's the feeling I got. Yeah. But that I feel like he kind of has a little bit of a crush on the Helsing girl. But it's different because of who he is, and it's not the same type of relationship. But I do get the sense that he does care for her. He doesn't like to openly show it at all.
No, well, okay. Well, when he became like Dracula in episode 8, you can kind of see the affection he has for Saris.
Yeah.
Remember?
I forget the details, but I'm just these are just the senses that I'm remembering.
Remember when she comes up, she's kind of a little intimidated because he looks different, because he's in his Dracula form. And
was she a child at this point? Was she a child then? Was that when she was a kid?
No, this is when she became a vampire, like fully, when she drank blood of someone that I'm not.
Wait. Who? Saris or
Saris Victoria?
Oh, I was thinking about
No, not Integra. Like I'm talking about like he showed affections for Saris. Remember when he was like in his Dracula form? Remember that?
I forgot that.
Came up, she was kind of intimidated because he looked different. He had a mustache.
Yeah.
He pointed, and then he kind of reached his hand out to her, and she thought she was going to hurt her. Remember?
It could keep going because I don't remember the details.
He patted her on the head.
Oh, she's a little bit. She's a little bit. There, Saris.
I don't know. Like Alucard, okay, Edward Elric, he's like on my top 10 like male characters in anime. Alucard's the next. That's one of my favorite male characters in anime, just because he's got an interesting aspect to him, and there's also a deeper part about him too near the end.
He's kind of to me, he's like an anti-hero. He's very mysterious, and you're trying to figure him out.
Oh yeah,
he's got that dangerous. So as far as the feeling of which character is fascinating to me the most between Edward Elric and Alucard, I would say Alucard is actually more fascinating to me
because you just don't know, like, what is he thinking? What's he gonna do? I mean, he does. There is a specific thing he does that's pretty bad towards people, but I guess you could say he so and so gave him the order.
Yeah.
And he
was more than willing to carry it out because that's what he likes to do.
He likes what's the word? Impaling? Impaling people? Yeah. He likes doing that because that's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Before he became Dracula. And the fact that they also go with a little history about, Vlad the Impaler. And there's a lot of like Christianity. Like, you could see Christianity in Evangelion or Blue Exorcist, but boy, in here, you see references everywhere. You see him with the gun, the cross upside down, while Anderson, who wants to kill him so bad, has his cross. And then, and I actually thought of this too, Mom. But remember when he killed that one villain in the boat or the ship, the aircraft carrier? Remember
That's the girl?
Yeah, after he killed her, and he's holding the gun, her long rifle.
Okay.
And he's holding it, and he's like this thin. And if you think about it, it almost had a resemblance of the cross backwards.
I don't remember that scene. I don't recall.
If you go back, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I recently thought about that, but yeah, Christianity is like written everywhere in this anime. It's everywhere. Now, like I said, the original is different compared to Ultimate. Some of the characters' motivations are also a little different. So there's one interesting character, Walter. I like Walter, but Ultimate did something with his character questionable and kind of like, wait, what?
I was disappointed in that. I really was, because I liked his character a lot.
Yeah, he was a gentleman. I mean, I don't.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I don't get why. I mean, they kind of hint that something happened in the past, which this all relates to a Nazi group. Here we go, Nazis again. It's Nazis.
Called it.
Called it. Yeah, so apparently in Ultimate, this group, and I gotta say, the villain in here, he's also in my top 10 anime villain characters. Because, I mean, come on, he's so manipulative. He basically, I don't know if I want to say too much. Okay, he basically gets away with most of what he wanted to do in this show. And you wish he's gone near the end, but it's like he could be finished off earlier. He knows what he's doing, and he got it done.
Since I've seen this.
He brought basically a whole battalion of Waffen SS vampires. He basically did an Empire Strikes Back 55 years later. With all his V1 rockets and bloodshed and everything.
It's a short anime too. I mean, it's something that you could I just remember that they went a long time between making the episodes or the volumes.
That's because the 1 through 8 there were OVAs, so they were originally like straight to video.
Oh, okay.
And the original series, the 13-episode original series, it was going to have a second part, but the show didn't do as well, so they didn't do the second part.
Okay. How many were there total? Like 10, right?
Yeah. In the OVA, 10.
And halfway through with the OVAs up, 1 through 4 were done by Geneon Entertainment, and that's right when they went under. So there was a good year until Funimation got it.
I thought there were at least multiple years in between each episode being done.
It would be like half a year.
One of them. I thought
the whole
what
thing
was it? Because Arturo, when Crispin came to the con, were they done with it yet? Were they done?
Oh yeah, because when he came, it was like several months after the last episode aired on Toonami. It came out the year, the last year of that year, 2014, and he came in 2015.
Wait! I thought Hellsing came to Toonami in 2016.
No,
14. I specifically remember watching an episode on Toonami, and I was sad because 14, because Bella had died.
Yeah,
that's right. Bella had died. I remember.
I will get to Toonami in a sec, but yeah, he mentioned how it just, for that character that he did, just 10 long years of just doing his character, and he has to do him in a specific way too. Yeah. I would think that'd be kind of hard.
It was challenging for him. He talked about that. He's talked about that multiple times.
I think it paid off though, because he's iconic for that role.
Oh yeah.
And also, I will say I do have a video of this up on my channel, my top 10 movies and shows that aired on Toonami. And yeah, Hellsing is on the list. I won't say where, but I was really happy that they even brought it on. It was something different.
Yeah.
And
They had a bit of editing to do, though.
Okay, well, they kept most of the gore, and I was going to bring this up. There is a specific scene out of all the gore. None of that bothered me. The one thing that bothered me in this show was that one scene with Sarah's past.
Yeah.
That actually bothered me.
Well, it is troubling.
I mean, it's crazy. You think the gore would, but nope, it's that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And when Toonami aired it, yeah, they took that one specific part out, but you could still tell what's going on.
Right, you knew what was going on, yeah.
I was really happy that they did bring it on that program. And the other thing I like about this show is because it's also different. It's set in a different country, unlike Japan, well, I don't know if we get much like animes based in America. Like we have a few, but I just like the aspect of this one. Just different.
Yeah, it's good.
European side of the world.
I liked it too. That was one of the early ones that I watched. I don't remember if I started watching that one before or after my next one that I'm going to, since I'm just going to mention only one more as well. Whenever we get it ties into this.
Yeah, I think you watched this around the time you were watching Full Metal and Inuyasha.
I don't remember. Yeah, this other one that I watched, I remember the year that I was watching it, but I don't remember the years I was watching the others.
I think it was around 2008, I think.
Okay, so then this one that I'm going to mention when it's my turn will be then it came before this because this was my first introduction to.
So Matt Rice, did you even see Hellsing?
No, I don't think I had a chance because I think when it was airing on Toonami, I think that's when everything happened with my family.
Oh. Yeah, then that was a rough time for you.
But I think my brother's seen it, so I think I'm gonna have to have him watch it again with me eventually.
Yeah, and it shouldn't take you too long. It's not like a bazillion episodes.
Yeah.
So, well, it's the fact that we play a lot of games more than we watch anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're more gamers. But yeah, this is one of my favorite animes. It would be on my top 10 list, along with Full Metal and Inuyasha, and a couple more. One of the best and one of the unique ones. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's gory. Yes, there's a scene that will disturb people, but overall, it's a classic.
Yep,
and that's good. I gotta thank Hellsing for really getting me into vampires because now I'm writing.
Well, I was already into vampires. That's why I watched it to begin with.
Well, yeah, you were, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Until I watched this, and then I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna write a vampire story, which I'm doing right now.
And these vampires don't sparkle.
Yep.
Yes, thank goodness.
And Crispin Freeman.
Crispin, yeah, he said real vampires don't sparkle. He said it in Alucard's voice.
Real vampires don't sparkle. And then they made fun of that, I think, in the abridged.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know.
All right, Mom, you're
okay. So mine ties in obviously with Hellsing. The connection, the tie-in is Crispin Freeman. Witch Hunter Robin was the very first anime that I actually finished. And the character that he played was the dark-headed guy in the upper left. And I remember that I liked the story, and I really liked his character because he was mysterious and brooding, and he had this really great voice. That was one of the things I noticed about him, was not just his look, the way they drew him, but his voice. And I loved his voice. And then, of course, later saw Hellsing. But I don't remember if I recognized that was him. I don't remember how long it took me to realize that it was the same guy that played in Witch Hunter Robin. But I like the story. I have a soft spot for it in my heart because, like I said, it was the very first anime I actually finished because there were so many that I started and then I didn't finish. And part of that was because there were so many episodes, you know, like Full Metal or Inuyasha. And I would just kind of, this was at the time that I was renting the discs from Netflix. So you could only watch a few at a time, right? And you had to wait. Then by the time the next one came in, maybe you weren't in the mood to watch it or whatever. So, but I watched this. I liked the dynamic. The girl Robin, she had this little crush on Amon. I think that's his name.
Yeah,
like Crispin Freeman. He doesn't care for her that way, but I kept hoping that maybe he would like her that way.
Please notice me, please.
Know, right? But the thing about it that bothers me, the ending just felt like it was very anticlimactic, and I was not happy with the way that it ended. It was just like, oh, okay, well,
there could have been more.
I just didn't like. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say this is how anime at that time were done a lot of times. The mangas would either be incredibly short; they would only be like 2 or 3 volumes long, and then they would make up stuff for the ending. Or the manga would go on longer, and the show would only have like 26 episodes.
Oh, I see.
And so they would have to end it because the manga hasn't reached its ending.
Yeah.
And in Japan, a lot of times the animes are meant to advertise for the mangas. So they won't fully end the anime. They will just tack on an ending, so you go out and buy the mangas.
Well, I always kept wondering if the story was supposed to continue. Have you seen Witch Hunter Robin? Matt?
Yeah, I've seen it. I have to check the mangas because where if you want to continue the story, you're gonna have to go with the manga. But
okay,
they may have changed dynamics.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say I actually looked up to see if this was based on a manga, and apparently it's not.
And that will happen. It may be a light novel. It may be its own thing.
I think it was its own thing. And if there is a manga, I would like to know because, there could have been more of a better conclusion for the show. I mean, I've watched it myself. I did like it. I did like it kind of had that original Hellsing vibe too, with like an organization dealing with witches.
Yeah, supernatural stuff, which was what I liked, and it felt a bit noirish in some aspects. Yeah. Not as noirish as the Big O.
Oh yeah.
But it still it had that like sort of dark kind of overtones and just
the music was
gloomy. Yeah.
I like the music. And it's funny because Crispin Freeman, Alucard, and even the girl that does Witch Hunter Robin was also in Hellsing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Always into something.
They worked it well. They kind of all sort of they cycle around. They use the same talent, so it's very. He was in here? Wait,
yeah, he's the guy beside Amon, the one with the other, like with the brownish hair.
Upper right-hand corner?
He's like in the middle between Amon and the guy with the glasses.
Oh, okay, so he's in the middle then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't recognize who the people were at the time because I didn't know much of anything about it. They were just stories that were interesting to me, and that's why I started watching them.
Yeah.
So this would be one of my favorites.
I remember when you were watching it. I remember watching the one part where I think I remember this on Adult Swim, but you watched this episode too, where those SWAT group people, the SWAT team, like just came in and started shooting up the place. Remember that one?
Wasn't that the last episode?
Well, that's what I was thinking it was, but when I watched it, it was episode 15. It wasn't even near the end. I'm thinking,
okay, then I'm not sure what was going on.
It was whenever they stormed that place. They shot up the place. They shot the other characters, and I was thinking that they died. And you were telling me no, they used fake bullets or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen it, and I've only seen it once.
My issue with it. See, at some point I'm going to review this, but
I thought you did already.
No, I haven't yet. I wrote. I guess you could say I spoke in the mic, and it covered all the stuff that I said about it on the WordPass thing. But my issue was that it took a different shift after that episode. It like went in a little bit of a different direction. I mean, it's not bad or anything. It just, I don't know. You kind of get this feeling where when it shifts to something else, it doesn't really feel the same.
Oh,
like
I see.
it was.
Yeah, like the tone shifts completely.
Yeah, animes will also do that. They will go 13 episodes, have a gap in production, then start up 13 more episodes. But at that point, it's actually either a second series or it's the second half of a series.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Witch Hunter Robin. I think that I wish there could have been maybe more to follow.
Yeah, it didn't feel like I just wanted a better conclusion.
I mean, it's not that it's awful. It's just they leave things unanswered.
Yes,
stuff. It's
very open ended. I don't like that a lot of times. So that's the main thing I think about when I think of this show is the disappointing ending. But I still enjoyed it as a whole.
You were watching this like what, 2006, I think.
2006, yep.
Yeah.
Because I remember I took the disc with us to the beach when we went with Buddy and Dan and them, and I was watching it in Teresa's room.
Yeah,
she was a captive audience. She had no idea anything about the story at all. But I also liked. Yeah, she was kind of thinking, she was paying attention to it. I also liked the theme song. I really loved
the opening.
Yeah, I'm going to be back in a second.
Okay. I was actually getting ready to step away too and make some coffee, but he beat me to it. I'll leave whenever he comes back because I'm going to make some coffee and I'll be back if you guys are still talking.
Yeah, I think Matt Ayer's got, I think he's got 2 more, and Matt Rice has got, I think, 1 more.
Okay, well, when he comes back and starts to talk about his, and I step away to go make my coffee and come back, then I guess I'll find out which one he mentioned.
Yeah,
you already know though because he told you. So you got the
nighttime.
Yes, exactly.
Woo-hoo! Yeah.
Yes, and I've been waiting to make my coffee. I usually have it about 9 to 9:30. Oh, good night. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I'm ready to have my coffee.
Not a big audience tonight like yesterday.
Well, anime is not necessarily as huge of a discussion starter for some people. I mean, I typically prefer talking about movies, like regular, live action movies, as opposed to anime.
I mean,
I'm not as into it as you are.
Yeah, anime is kind of also the reason some movies were even made, like of inspiration. Like Akira or Ghost in the Shell were inspired to make, I think inspired the guy to make The Matrix.
Yeah.
So, anime's got some impact in the pop culture.
Yeah, it does. I certainly enjoy it. I'm just not as into it as you and Aurelia are.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one that I would have mentioned if Hellsing hadn't been brought up.
Vampire Hunter D.
I did like Vampire Hunter D. I like the second movie better.
Yeah.
But there was another one that I thought I was going to mention, but then I can't even remember what it was or even if we finished it. Okay. Matt's back. So while he gets ready to talk about his, I'm going to step away and make my coffee, and I'll be back after a bit, you guys.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So.
Okay.
So I think, Matt, you're up.
Okay, so have any of you guys ever seen Super Dimensional Fortress Macross?
No, I don't. Well, it sounds familiar. Now,
giant mechas. It also was re-edited into an American series called Robotech. Which caused a lot of issues with copyright stuff.
So Matt, is this the anime you're talking about?
Let me see. That's one of the animes.
Okay, so it's part of the series.
That's not the first one. The first one's weird with how they did their production values with it. Because halfway through the first series, they decided they wanted to do a movie. And to not have the ending of the show, they decided to do a different ending. and they redesigned all the way the villains look.
Is
So,
this the one you were telling me that they're owned by different companies and it's really hard to like?
What I've heard is it was done by committee in Japan. So it was 3 companies in Japan that did it, right? And then in the U.S., another company took it, right? Cut it up and cut its 3rd series, made the 3rd series its 2nd series, and then put another anime in it and called it something else. Changed the story, but there's fighting over who owns the rights to the name and the trademark.
Yeah, that's the one that's
only one of the Japanese companies went for like the name. So it's kind of weird with the way it's released. And we haven't found that many over here.
Yeah, because we mentioned this yesterday, but good night. Companies don't seem to care much about people that want to watch something because
it's
this part and then the other company owns the other part and they will hold on to it.
It's copyright license. Like we got, so over here what we got the original Macross, and it did get a dub, and it got a dub kind of when Zeta Gundam got a dub, so the dub's really good. They even got one of the, I think the voice actress that was in the original Macross series came back to play the character that she played in the original series, Ant.
Okay.
So ADV did take their time to actually do it. And they did release Super or Southern Cross subbed only. And they did, I think most of the series got some weird version of dubs, but not or the first 3 at least. But then we got, do you remember Love, which was the first movie? Do you remember Love 2, which they cut from a 6-episode OVA into a American movie that wasn't done great? And then we got Macross Plus. And that's all we've gotten. We haven't gotten Frontier, Delta, 7, any of those. They're not going to release over here. Even the original is not going to get a re-release.
Yeah, it's really crazy. But I guess you could tell us what you like about this series. Like what's really good about it.
So it's a 80s, it's like a mid to early 80s mecha anime where there are aliens, right? So if you like the old 80s kind of look and tone, but they add in more like pop culture stuff, so they're singing and music and stuff, which doesn't always work with the series, but for the first one it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I like the look. I like the difference in continuity between the first and the first movie.
Now, what about the others that followed after, like in the same series?
I can't. It's hard because what they did was Macross is one circle of something, right? And apparently some of the Macross characters show up in this other series, and that's another circle of series. I think they've done like 3 or 4. And then it goes to another series. So they have to be careful with the timeline stuff. And I can't name all the series because we don't have most of them over.
Yeah, that would be a little confusing.
Yeah.
You would have to figure out
you have to look everything up online to see when it all falls in place.
Yeah. Now, this picture that I have up, is this one part of the series that maybe it's like a spin-off?
Yeah, I think it's Frontier. It's not. There's Frontier 7, and then there's another one.
So
I don't think it's Delta.
And so, wait, is Frontier part of that series, the Macross series?
Yep.
Okay.
I can't name all the series off the top of my head because it's so hard. Like, you gotta look it up on YouTube, or you gotta go find it. You can't order these.
Yeah, that's another problem.
Yeah.
Another problem for people that can't. It's like I've mentioned this like before to my friend Matt Air here, and I mentioned this is probably another reason why people pirate, because they can't get access legally to shows like this series
you can
to watch it on a legal like streaming service, or at least
you can watch the sub version of the original series. That's on a bunch of sites, but not the English version. You can watch Southern Cross has its sub version. You can watch Macross Do You Remember Love 2, I think is on PlayStation Network. But that's the movie version, not the show version. And then Plus is floating around somewhere, but none of the other ones.
See, like that's the problem. If it was all in one streaming service, then everything would be gold right there. But you have it in separate places, and I don't know.
I think
like
Amazon has.
Oh, go ahead.
Amazon has the first one, and then like Southern Cross. So like the first and the third kind of come. The first and the other one kind of come in like a package. Sometimes there's also Zero, but we're never going to see Zero. They're probably never going to release it over here.
Yeah, this anime series seems like a mixed bag of everything going on with it, because you have it everywhere and you can't find everything everywhere.
I mean, you can go on YouTube and stuff if you really want to go that route. And like I said, it's a good series if you like the 80s mecha animes.
Yeah.
But it is a little hard to find.
Matt Rice, have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen Robotech?
No.
Okay, I've heard. I think I have heard of this either from you or floating around, but I've never watched it. Mm-hmm. I'll try to check it out if I can.
Yeah.
Because it's got an issue with all the companies that own it.
Yeah, and the Robotech comic's not bad. The actual comic they did really well with.
Oh,
there's actually playing off tactical errors that were in the show, because they had something which happened that was kind of funny in the show, where they showed something 2 episodes too early with the way they edited it. And they don't really correct it.
Oh.
So the comic goes back and kind of corrects it in a different way, and it's actually kind of cool.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Wait, is that my? Oh no, never mind. All right. Well, I guess Matt Rice, you're up.
Okay, after this, I'm probably going to have to go because I think my brother has to make dinner.
Okay.
But yeah, I think my last one is the time I got reincarnated as slime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I heard it's really good.
It is. The second season is it going on right now, Matt?
Yeah, it's going.
Like in Japan?
It's going, and if you have Crunchyroll, you can watch the sub version, and then the English version is slowly trickling out. I've also read the first light novel in this series.
So it's the second season is on Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
Okay, because me and my brother are trying to at least watch that.
Yeah. I can double check.
Because he's entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah, check for me. But yeah, it's entertaining. I like it. I think it's one of the rare fantasy ones I like.
It's mostly a guy that's reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah. Have you seen the first episode?
I haven't even watched it yet. I was going to at some point.
Then I'm not gonna say anything but he's technically reincarnated as slime, and it just goes from there.
Goes from there, and to me, it looks like he gets a lot of girls. So should I be concerned that this goes somewhere?
There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of them are like the rest are guys.
Oh boy! Well, this feels like an SAO.
No, it's not. It's not, because I can't really say what happens to one of the girls because you want to watch it.
Okay.
They're up to episode 29 on Crunchyroll. It's a little hard
29.
to understand because they broke down the OVAs as separate things too, also calling the OVA season 2. So you gotta look for season 2 that doesn't have numbers.
So what is this you're talking about?
Time I got reincarnated as slime.
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual name.
But I heard from Stephanie that this is a good anime, and Matt A. Rice likes it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's excellent. It's on its second season right now.
Oh, I know what I was going to mention. I was going to mention One Punch Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
One Punch.
Yeah. That's what reminded me.
Yeah, that part that cracked us up, and we kept laughing even after the fact.
Oh
no, wait! I think you're pushing it. Really? Oh no, wait! It was just my imagination. That was funny.
Is this Matt Ayers or Matt Rice's? What was Matt Ayers' second or third one? Whatever.
My second one was Super Dimension Fortress Macross.
Oh, okay.
Macross, yeah, and that series is a mixed bag because it's everywhere with companies holding it.
They re-edited it into something called Robotech.
I have heard of that.
Yeah.
But back to once I got reincarnated as a slime.
Oh my
it's
goodness!
Very entertaining.
Yeah. What? Okay,
it's entertaining.
I was going to ask what's the premise, but I think the title tells us the premise.
Yeah, he's a slime.
He gets reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah, that tells it all.
And I was
going to say it's hilarious, but it also has action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking Matt Rice this question. Does it go to a point where it like goes to the SAO level where it's like one guy, multiple girls, because the picture shows multiple girls and the guy, but
technically he's a slime, so he technically doesn't have a gender. When he's reincarnated, technically doesn't have a gender.
Yeah. And
okay.
The photo you have, there are several other guys in the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say there's several guys too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard from Stephanie that it was good. I've been meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
It is. It gets sad, but then it gets actiony at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like once you begin the story, it just looks sad. And then once you get into what actually happens, you actually kind of feel sorry for the main character. And both main characters.
Okay.
You kind of feel sorry for what happened to him.
That's interesting. I have never heard of this one.
Oh, I like 2 years ago.
It came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have a second season last year, but Corona stopped it.
Yeah. It came out at the same time Fire Force
did.
Yeah, Fire Force.
Oh yeah, Fire Force. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention Fire Force, but I like this one a lot better. I'm more attached to this show because I actually like the main character.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to try it out when I'm not too busy watching other stuff or playing stuff.
How many episodes does it have?
But you said right now there's like 29 minus like
there are
4 or
29
5 OVA.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 30 or 40 if you count the OVA because there's 5 OVAs and then it's up to 29 in combining season 1 and 2.
Okay, because they just legitimately started season 2 this year.
Yeah.
So it's still ongoing.
Is it on
I'm not sure
Funimation?
how long it's gonna.
Yeah.
Funimation has the dub, and they're slowly trickling out English episodes. They just dubbed all the OVAs a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And they put episode 24.5 today or yesterday.
Okay.
It's a recap, and then
they have a 20. In season 2, I found a 24.9.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was weird. That's why I was asking you where to watch it, because me and my brother absolutely love this show.
Yeah.
What is it that you like about it? The humor or the acting or the art style?
I like the art style and the way that he actually enters the world.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's the way he enters is rare.
Huh.
So it's something unique.
The whole 9 yards.
It's unique.
Yeah, the way he enters is unique. It's the way his whole character is unique to the point that you'd be like, wow, I actually like the character.
Okay. It is something different. I mean,
I wonder if Welly has seen this.
I'll ask her, but I bet she has. Let me ask her. So
hey, Welly, did you see Reincarnated?
I'll ask her.
Right next to me, you know.
I know, but she's busy doing something else in there. I'll ask her right now.
You know, I also like the beginning episodes because it makes it feel like you don't know what you're watching until you get like halfway in what actually is going on.
Well, now I'm
because it follows like it follows two people in the beginning, right, Matt?
It follows him, and then if you're thinking about that other character, she shows up a little later in the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think there's two. Two so far that we've talked about that I haven't heard of, I think. Oh, well, the one that Matt, Aurelia says she has not. That surprises me.
Well, now.
The one that Matt mentioned earlier, the mecha one from the 80s, I hadn't heard of that one before. And then, of course, this one.
Yeah.
Say what?
Macross and Gunpei were both 80s mechas.
Okay. All right. You like mecha?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. His next one, definitely.
Unless you want me to change it, I could always go to like Food Wars or something. I know how much
you like that one. You got it. Like I told you before at work, Matt. It's got to be something you cherish, you like, your favorite. He was thinking of putting. Oh, what's that?
I'll talk to you later. I think my brother's dinner soon, so I have to go.
Okay, Matt. You have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Have a good one.
This was fun.
You're welcome. I may or may not be there tomorrow. It depends on what my brother wants to do. Because he may want to go do something. So.
That's fine.
Have fun. Yep.
Well, see you guys. Maybe talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, Matt. Have a good night. All right, Matt. You have the last one.
So, the last one is the Mobile Suit Gundam series.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I don't know how much of that you guys have seen.
He's seen more than me. I've
seen Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Origins, and Iron Blooded Orphans. My mom was watching some of Iron Blooded Orphans and then stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Seed, Wing, X, G, SD, H.
I mean, how many of them are there?
There's at least 10 to 15 different series.
Wow.
The original series also branches off to the mangas and stuff have different, but we didn't get all the mangas. So the Moon timeline is a separate timeline from the original. There's the Flash timeline, which they are readapting into a movie for the main timeline, but originally it was a separate timeline. The books are different. From the original Gundam has a different ending, and then Zeta has a different ending for the books.
So I guess for the main premise, at least let's start off with the main universe. The main.
You mean
timeline.
the Universal Century, or are you going with the Turn A weird every universe is canon?
Let's just go with the the canon, the main one, main timeline.
Okay.
just so people understand like where it kind of started.
Okay. So you want me? It's hard to like explain everything because basically what happened was the Earth was overpopulating, so they decided to make space colonies to push out the poorer people. But what happened was when they first were switching over the universe, there was a terrorist attack.
Okay.
So some stuff happened to charter with that. And then they redid all the colonies to be more, instead of circular, they're like these large cylinders. And there's a lot of conflict with like the ones that are the farthest from Earth. They want to get their independence. So they decide to do the only thing they know how to do, drop a large colony onto the planet.
A large colony?
One of their large space colonies. They just knock all the people out and just crash onto the planet.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened in Origins.
Yep. Oh, it happened like 3 or 4 times in the series.
And it's actually, to be honest, Mom, it's actually kind of scary to think about because what happened, like in Origins, from what I saw, when they dropped the first colony, it causes so much problem, like in our atmosphere, it causes all these storms, these tornadoes, it's just everything, massive destruction. It's really creepy to think about, but it's an interesting concept of colonies outside of our planet. And it's just expanding, and then other people outside of our planet just want to have independence from Earth, because you could say they're kind of governing them, sort of.
Earth,
is that right,
Earth
Matt?
is mixed. And the thing is Earth isn't all good. They're kind of strict about what they want, and they don't really treat the space colonies as good as they should. So the space colonies rebel.
There's a lot of political stuff sort of going on.
There's a lot of that, but it's hard to kind of know what I'm talking about unless you've seen the original series, because there's one episode where there's an entire Earth like platoon that's cut off from everybody, and they just run wild. They're not really the good guys, but Zeon is not any better.
Yeah, Zeon. They are okay. So, Mom, you look at Zeon as like Nazi Germany. I mean, they have reasons for what they're doing, but they look like Imperial Germany or Nazi Germany. They have that look.
Okay. So basically, there's no real black and white with these characters in the stories, because it's so complex and there's a lot of gray area.
It's more gray, like with everything in that series, and that's what makes it really good. And then this
interesting,
when you move on to the second series, it's even worse. Because there's another faction that's trying to do something. Zeon's in remnants at this point, and the Earth the Earth government goes completely totalitarian. Then some stuff happens with that, and then it skips a couple of years, and then Zeon's fully back at this point, and they're not going to drop a colony; they're going to drop an asteroid.
Oh, yay.
Everybody off the planet.
How sweet. That's so lovely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the only good people that you actually see are basically the soldiers, some of them.
Not all of them, because they all have to work out their issues and stuff, and then depending on what's going on. Like, one of the villains from the first series isn't a villain in the second series. Then he comes back as a villain in one of the movies.
Okay. Well, what happened with his character development that made this go on?
Before the series, his father was the one in charge of Mu, or what they were calling Zeon before it was Zeon.
Okay.
And then this one family poisoned his father, took over. Him and his sister had to leave.
That's the Origins one that I saw. Yeah.
So he comes back to get revenge.
Okay.
And after he gets revenge, right, he sees what the Earth is doing and doesn't really like what they're doing, because they're kind of getting a little too high and mighty. So he decides to fight them off. and then the series kind of drops him for the third series. So when you see him again, he's taking his father's place, being the leader of Zeon, and just decides to give the Earth a nice rest.
Okay, so all of these stories, they're all in the same universe.
That's one series. That's all in one.
Okay,
That's the timeline. Okay. So Mom.
And then Wing is in another one.
Oh yeah, like Iron-Blooded Orphans, Wings, Seed, 00. Those are separate universes. They have nothing to do with one that Matt's talking about.
Unless you go with Age, or not Age, unless you go with Turn A, where all the universes are canon and it's like some multiverse where everything took place at some point.
I have not seen that one.
It's not the best.
I figured.
Like I think the creator wants it to be canon, but no one else really liked it enough to make it canon.
Well,
I think he helped write one of the sequel to it, and they forced him to reduce it from like 50 episodes down to 25 episodes, and then he got like 5 or 6 movies out of it.
So Mom, remember a few years ago when Unicorn was on?
Well, I remember you watching a show, and there was a character in there named Biscuit.
Okay, well, that's Iron-Blooded Orphans. That's like a separate. That's like its own.
Because the voice actor came to one of our cons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's like its own universe. It also has some political stuff. It's Mars wanting to have independence or rights, and Earth is kind of being Earth in that one.
Earth is strict in that one, but there was a massive war 300 years before that, so
yeah,
the economy tanked in that one. So no one's really doing that great, except for like the elite on Earth.
Yeah, I will say the political stuff in that did kind of confuse me. I didn't really understand much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Unicorn Mom, remember around that time that issue happened with so and so. I'm not gonna say. Remember?
You mean with humans? Yeah, certain humans around us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. This was January of 2017 when they brought Gundam Unicorn.
Okay.
Remember you watched that?
I don't remember watching it. No. Did I watch it?
Yeah, you were. I think you watched like 2 episodes, or at least it's technically an OVA, but they cut it to make it episodes.
It's a 7-part OVA with the last episode 7 being an hour and 30 minutes. They recut that one into a 30-minute format and turned it into a 25-episode series.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with Origins.
Yeah, that's what they
6 episodes. They cut down to 12.
That's what they aired on Toonami. Was those cuts?
Okay.
Now
and there's no difference between the cuts. That's why people got kind of a little angry with the show. To what I could tell is that there was no big difference. They didn't add like battle sequences or more character development or anything.
No, but I do like the opening in Unicorn.
Yeah,
I do like that. But yeah, so Mom, Gundam Unicorn, that's the one that you saw a bit of, and I watched it. That's in the same timeline that Matt was talking about. This is like what, Matt? Few years after the Second War, or
no? It's 3 years after the Second Neo-Zeon War. It was after Char's Rebellion.
After they tried to bring an asteroid to planet Earth.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And then at that time, we didn't get it. Twilight happened, like 6 months after Unicorn. And then Narrative happened right after that.
Yeah, now Narrative is the one we saw with Galen.
Yeah.
Oh, when you went to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's set like after Unicorn.
It's set a year.
Yeah, a year. And
sounds all very complicated. A lot of storylines going on.
Well, because they released these stories in separate times. Like they're all set in the same. Well, at least this one that Matt's talking about, this timeline, it's all set in one big timeline. It's just they're releasing them years apart.
Well, they're doing the main timeline's mostly getting movies and OVAs at this point. We were supposed to get a movie last year; it got pushed back to this year.
Yeah,
and they're going to do 3 movies in that series. And depending on how that goes, and depending on what they want to or not to keep canon, we may lose the last 2 in the canon and get more improved versions, or they're going to be canon and they're just going to kind of work around them.
I probably would. I probably would prefer they work around them, just because why put effort in one thing and then pretend it never happened.
I think what happened with V was the creator didn't like V. He was urging people not to buy the Blu-rays. And if you know what they did with F91, you would kind of prefer a remake over them working around it. Because F90 could make a movie. It was a small, short, condensed story. F91 was meant to be 50 episodes that they condensed into a 2-hour movie.
So, Mom, I think what interests me about this series is, imagine a political war in space, except with robots.
I knew it had to do with robots, and I knew that you liked the politics and stuff.
Yeah,
that makes me channel my.
I'm late, and it's probably for the best. Gundam makes me
channel my inner Neil deGrasse Tyson and think about material science.
Well, I think what I like about it is it's kind of more of a realism of war, except with robots. You know, it's like, it's what if in the future, if war would be raged out in space,
right?
Yeah, that's what's interesting about it.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah, except it's real, like it's set in our universe.
Are people inside the robots operating them?
They
like Evangelion.
Except
it's different than Evangelion.
Like Big O.
Yeah, it's more like Big O. And Evangelion is technically not a mecha. If you know some other stuff.
Aren't they like bonded with it in some way?
No, it's not the bond. It's what they're piloting. It's
they're like
aliens,
beings, aren't they? Yeah, they're aliens.
Also,
or whatever.
If the giant mecha battles and if the timelines are too complicated, you could always go to the Built Fire timeline, where they build Gundam models and kids fight them in like 3D arenas.
I think my mom might be more interested in the 95 Gundam Wing, because that's like the thing.
Or if you don't even want to see that, if you want to still see robots fight each other, but they're human size, there's always SD Gundam.
SD
Gundam, I've been trying to get you to watch it. It's the one on Crunchyroll. It's all computer generated. They're the size of people, and
Gundam Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah,
Gundam happened the same time with first Gundam.
Gundam, with that one, what happens is the first series goes right. MS Team takes place during the same time, but it's in the South Pacific. Then, when the actual events of Thunderbolt is taking place, that's at the end of the first series. But that's also when 0080 takes place. When Zeon decides to try and nuke a colony.
Drop the colony?
No, not drop. They were going to fire nuclear bombs on the colony. Because they were working on another mecha. So Thunderbolt takes place more akin at the war and goes past 0079 into 0080. With the remnants of Zeon starting to form.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Are all these Gundams written by the same person?
There's one guy that's done a lot of them, but it's not at this point. It's not all the same person.
Okay.
Also, if you want to watch a really abridged version, they have Hello Kitty Gundam.
Oh, come on. Are you being serious?
No, I'm not lying. There is legitimately you can buy Hello Kitty Gundam models. Look it up.
Lord. I believe you. I believe you.
They're shorts, so I don't know if we're ever going to get them, but yeah. there is.
So, when did the
Yeah.
very first one come out?
The first series came out in 1979.
Yeah, I was gonna say I figured it was probably the 70s.
Yep, and then the movies came out a year later, and the first show wasn't very popular in Japan.
I wonder why. Because I thought they liked giant robots and everything.
Well, first of all, this is the first thing that they call realistic robo, so there's no aliens or anything else.
Oh, okay.
So it's more the war and the grit. They also cut the number of episodes because it was originally not doing so well. So it was originally going to be 50 episodes. It got cut in Japan to 53, and we only got 52.
Wait. You said there were supposed to be 50 episodes?
Yeah, I mean 43 and 42.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
The only way we got the original series if they would take out an episode. The creator didn't like an episode. So he said, if you guys want this, you have to never show this one episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Toys make them popular.
The
I
model
can
kits.
imagine.
Yes. I've made a lot of those models.
I have been meaning to watch the others. It's just I've been busy with watching other things. But this is kind of like a Star Wars universe that I would like.
Sounds very big.
Yeah, it is big. Like
Also,
it's just as old as Star Wars, just a few years after Star Wars.
Yeah. I was asking him when the first one came out. He told me.
If you want Arturo, if you want to start with the short one, the new SD Gundam's only 7 episodes.
What's that one again?
It's the one where they're little chibi Gundams.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
And they ride
I was trying to
motorcycles.
talk me into watching the Hello Kitty Gundam.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one's even shorter. Those episodes are like 3 minutes.
No, is that the one that they aired on Cartoon Network, Toonami?
No, that was another SD Gundam, which surprisingly we haven't gotten a re-release of.
Yeah, because I heard it was bad.
Oh.
It was of its time.
I mean, I used to like it when it came on, but I was little at the time.
Maybe
I was little at the
Gundam.
I was little.
SD.
In other words, he probably would not like them now.
No, like I prefer these type of Gundam stories where it's more serious, more political, and it also it has that realism of war, and that no side's really perfect. You know. So, Mom, are you interested to watch it?
I don't know. I've never really been drawn to this series. I'm more interested in things involving stuff that happens here on Earth for the most part.
Well, I mean,
there is Earth. There's a whole big thing with Earth.
As far as like just stories in general, I've never really been into the big robots. I did like Big O.
Yeah.
I did like that though.
Well, you never fully finished it.
I never finished season 2. Yeah,
I mean, season 1 was the better one.
Yeah, I really liked that. It was so different.
Yeah, it was noirish. I just like the style of it better.
Yeah.
And then season 2 comes along, which was an American company that decided to step in, and they just, what did you do?
I think Toonami or Adult Swim made a deal with them, and they tried to push more. But if you want to ease into it, SD.
No.
Or Hello Kitty. I think she hugs somebody.
Look. See now, Matt.
I don't even like Hello Kitty at all.
This
so
is Hello Kitty.
That wouldn't hold no interest for me.
In a giant Hello Kitty mecha.
Oh Lord!
Because she saw one of the episodes on TV and didn't like the war, so she hugs the TV and goes into the TV world.
Oh gosh!
Gundam Build series is just fun show.
Yeah, Built's pretty cool. It's a little weird with what they did with the first 2 seasons, but I enjoyed it.
Well, Mom, I would say, see, here's the thing.
Oh, and Built takes place completely on Earth.
Built?
Okay.
Oh.
So Built's completely on Earth.
Well, Mom, I mean, I think you would like it. I mean, yeah, there's some politics in it, and it does have some things to relate to, like Earth and some of the colonies. But I mean, hey, space is a real thing.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
and
there's certain genres that aren't huge with me. Yet I like things like Star Wars. So
yeah. Well, I mean, think of it this way: this is a far off future of if this could happen, and it's kind of scary. Because think about it, if you had colonies out there in space, and can you imagine if one of those things fell on planet Earth?
Yeah, be pretty terrible, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I watched Origin, and I'm thinking, that would be scary.
Yeah,
it would be really scary.
Oh,
Well, so here's the problem, though. I would say, Mom, if you were to get into it, Origins would be like one place, but then you have the 79 art style, which they redubbed that and made it into a movie, which is canon.
Yeah, the movies are kind of...
It's just that the art style is old.
older, yeah.
And it's not dubbed. It's not dubbed.
I thought it was dubbed.
No, they dubbed the show. They never dubbed the movie.
Oh, but that's the canon one.
I mean, I think they came out in like 95 over here. They were late.
Yeah,
And
that's
Char's
really late.
Char's Counterattack, I don't think came out until 98, and they did dub that one.
Well, the other ones I know that came out like in the 80s.
Zeta, Double
follow
Zeta.
the timeline.
Oh, and there's Igloo, which is the complete CG. It explains what what other Xeon attachments were doing during the war, but it's all like PlayStation 2 kind of CG.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a 3D type of sort of.
Huh.
It's not a game. It's just they try to do CG to tell.
But I mean, that type of like a 3D type of animation.
Yeah.
Except very rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Mom, I would think you would find some interest in it.
And G Gundam is just mechas punching each other, screaming.
I mean, I probably would, but the thing is, there are so many other anime shows that I would probably prefer to check out first. Like we never finished Black Butler, haven't finished Blue Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
We're still watching Castlevania, even though that's not anime.
Steins Gate.
Started watching.
Steins Gate.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ones that are kind of interesting to me, but there's also a lot of live action movies and shows. They
did do a live action Gundam movie.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible, wasn't it?
Very low budget. Very
I
low.
I probably would like the Full Metal Alchemist live action better than that.
Yeah,
which
this
I did
was
watch.
2000 when they did it, so the graphics aren't very good.
Yeah,
very low budget. But if you want to go through quicker ones, Origin is pretty quick. It's only six episodes. Each episode is about 45 minutes. You could go into Char's Counterattack if you just want to skip up to like 0093.
Well, I was interested in Zeta.
Yeah, Zeta's good. The movies weren't great. The movies were done very weirdly.
I did like Unicorn though. That was really good. I will say my issue with Unicorn, it's at the end, close to the end. It kind of got really supernatural and it got kind of weird. Like, wait, what's going on?
It's more in the middle, actually. Because what happened with Unicorn is towards the end of Xeon. But they're not at the point of the birth of the Crossbone Vanguard.
What's interesting is that it embodies post-war Japanese psychology and work ethic, marrying the traditional with the modern, a samurai class empowered by contemporary technological superiority.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the Federation, Matt, all just planet Earth?
It's Earth, and then there's like the Earth sphere, so that's everything around the Earth. And then eventually, when you get farther into it, there are the what is it? Not the border. It's the They're the farther colonies. They're not the sides. The frontier. So you have the sides, which are around the Earth. Then farther out, eventually, there is the frontier.
I don't think I've gotten to them.
No, and because Crossbone isn't an anime yet, they're not going to really go into that a whole lot. You'd have to watch F91 and then go into V. And V, if you don't know what they're talking about, is really confusing.
Yeah, you have to cover ground.
No, they just mentioned some stuff about like relocating colonies, and it's because it's all it's 20 years after Crossbone.
Yeah, well, see,
F9, because
I
didn't do any of those.
I got the gist with the Unicorn that it was post-war. I was slightly familiar with it. It was a little, confusing to understand certain things that happened prior to Unicorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of consider it Gundam as a Star Wars thing in anime.
Yeah, because of how massive the universe is, you mean?
Yeah, and it's
not just like the fact that it takes place in space. A lot of them.
Yeah, and it's also political too.
Yeah,
it makes you mad on both sides. Well, yeah, it can make you mad on both sides.
Yeah,
because of what reasons they have for doing what they're doing, and a lot of lives are lost because of it. I find it interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, I got the Gundam Unicorn OVA DVDs. It's just that you make me confused.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. But if I jumped into that, I would probably be lost.
I think on the last disc they give you a synopsis of everything that is happening.
Well, like I said, Matt, the ending of Unicorn, because they cut it into episodes. The episode before the last one, when it was airing on Toonami, was a bit weird. Like, it got really supernatural, and it you almost jumped semi in the past and just saw things that were happening, and I was a little bit confused. Like, I knew he was looking at something that happened, like the meteor coming to Earth. I got the gist of that, but like, where was he? Some things are a little out there in some parts, not all the time, but
the older series are more rounded than that. It's more of, I may have psychic powers, I'm piloting a giant robot, I have emotional issues, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's some supernatural stuff in this show.
But then it may not be psychic powers, it could also just be reflexes and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I guess we could think of it. Yeah, we could think of it this way. The universe may have some magic to it, We don't know.
Like the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I could see it, but I think there is some people with psychic powers because of narrative, right, Matt?
Yeah, narrative really jumped the shark with that. But then Halfway Flash is going to do some interesting things. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's one I wouldn't mind seeing.
Just with the trailers alone.
All right, well,
we talked about a lot of stuff today.
Yeah,
this one went longer.
I didn't think this one was going to go as long as it did.
Yeah,
Matt Air has a lot of information.
Yeah. I know. I know. Will you be joining us tomorrow, Matt, for the
if I can?
Okay. Do you have to work tomorrow?
No, I'm off. If there's anything around the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, for those listening, thank you for listening to the Arturelia podcast with Sinscorn and my friend here, Matt Air. Tomorrow we're going to hold the 1987 discussion of the 80s.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Yes.
I have some animes that I've reviewed on this channel if you want to check it out.
On Arturelia.
Yeah. I know my mom isn't overly into anime except when we watch, I guess, Steins Gate on her. Well, basically,
we need to get back to that, Arturo.
Yeah. I'm planning on scheduling some Let's Watch of that this coming week.
What time tomorrow? Simon wants to know. We usually start those at 9, right?
9 p.m.
Do you want to start earlier?
Yeah, 9 p.m.
9. Okay.
Now, Matt, I looked to see if there was any anime that
I sent you.
But
I sent you the Bubblegum Crisis stuff.
Okay, that does sound familiar, but I have not seen.
Matt Rice mentioned he liked that one. He liked the original.
There's 2 animes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was. That's when the original came out.
There's 2 animes. Like, before we get to 88 and 89, there's 2 animes that I need to watch. It's Gunbusters, and then what's that other one?
You mean before
Pat Labor? Yeah.
You mean before we get to the movie discussion of 88 and 89?
Yeah. Now, Gunbusters is a little weird. the one that I got from Sentai, it's all the OVAs except they put it together, but they might have trimmed some stuff out. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to watch the OVA versions, which is only like 6 episodes, or just watch the movie version instead.
I would just do the movie because when they did that with and Sentai didn't do this with Macross, it was manga. When manga did that with Macross, they got so lazy with editing that film, they left in the commercial break intro and outros.
What?
And with Unicorn, when they split it up into episodes, I don't think they didn't take anything out, but they didn't add anything in. And same with Origins. So I would look it up, but I think you're safe with. I don't think they may have taken anything out.
Okay, it's just that I don't know whether or not they trim stuff down. I know this place said it's advised to watch the OVA first, then maybe the movie, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. Now, Pat Labor, I have the OVA that you gave me. That came out in 88, and then the show started in 89.
Yeah, and the movie.
Yeah, and the movie. But I will only be able to watch the 6 episode OVAs of that. That will be the only thing I'll be able to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's dubbed, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Is it on Funimation?
No, Sentai has the rights to it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I've got
it's on Sentai's site.
Yeah, Matt Air gave me the OVAs on Blu-ray, so I'll be able to watch
I
that.
the collection, so I have all 6 episodes.
Of course you would.
He is
all
the
3 movies, the first and second series, and the only thing it doesn't have is the live action movies or show.
Oh,
that one looks like a pretty interesting series.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get to 88 and 89, I'm going to watch those. But so basically, 87 will be the last one for a little bit. So I got to dive in on those.
Arturo, you need to get on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe starting it soon. I mean, if I want to be quick, I'll just watch the Gunbuster movie and then watch the OVAs of At Labor. They're not long. I mean, like I said, if I decide to go with Gunbuster OVA, it's only 6 episodes, or the movie, which just is, you
could do both Gunbusters and Pat Labor in one day.
I could.
Yeah.
And then I'll write a review for them. Gives me an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So 87.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can only think of 2 movies from that year, and that's
it. I mean, it was. I still think my favorite is 84 as far as out of the whole decade. But
ding ding ding, we have a winner.
But they all had really good movies. And I'm sure there's probably going to be several. 88.
He's saying 88 because he was born that.
That's when he was born.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to refreshing my memory on those on that year.
Yeah. So
I'm going to be going.
Okay,
Matt, this was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
So, guys, if you want to follow my mom, she's at Sin Corner where she laughs, she cries.
Oh,
she does a little bit of stuff. You could also follow me here, and I also got a Discord server. It's a community. If you want to hop on, you also get updates of when videos go up. I am also uploading most of my content on Facebook because YouTube is being ridiculous, and I can't monetize my hard work. I work really hard.
I know. That actually really sucks. You used to monetize.
So Facebook,
or they changed their rules.
Well, Facebook is giving me the option to actually monetize my video. So I'm like, you know what? To hell with it. I'm going to upload all my stuff on Facebook. Or at least
you do that.
Huh?
I said, well, you do that.
Yeah, I mean,
YouTube's
not giving me much of a choice right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed listening to it, Glenn. I'm kind of sort of a superficial-ish fan of anime as well. I certainly don't know nearly as much about it as the 2 Matts and my son. But
2 Matts? Oh, you mean Matt Rice?
Matt Rice, because he seems to know quite a bit about it too. But
it's a good, there's a bunch of good stuff.
I like the stories. There's a lot of really good writing in anime. 2006 for you, okay?
2006 for me.
I think he means his favorite year of movies.
Yeah, here's what we're going. I also haven't.
A Kamika Kill is pretty interesting. I liked it more than I thought that I would. So let me know what you think about it whenever you get it. It's not super long.
Yeah.
But I did not even realize it was on Netflix.
It was on my top 10 shows and movies that are on Toonami.
Oh, the that video that you did about your top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Though I will say, if you ever hear Matt Ayers say watch this of anime, don't listen to him because he basically
I know.
He points at
Yes, I know. I immediately disregarded what he said when he was talking about the Hello Kitty Gundam. I'm like, yes,
he's been trying to get me to watch Redo of Healer. That really
controversial. Yeah.
You know, is it wrong for me to kind of have semi-interest to watch it, even though I know how?
Why would it be wrong? You're curious
because
we know controversy.
Yeah, but I know what happens.
You know what happens.
The character does.
Well, controversy a lot of times sparks interest, and people like to check something out when there's a lot of controversy.
Heck, it even made it to #1 on Amazon, I think, because people either bashed it and then it got popularity on IMDb. I don't know. Matt Ayer wants me to do a Let's Watch of the first episode. Now he says the second episode's worse.
Yeah, well, I have no interest in it personally. I mean, we still need to get through Steins Gate. We should probably step up the schedule of that, because if there's 20-some episodes in Steins Gate.
Yeah. Well, I also need to edit all the Let's Plays I've done too. So I'll be busy with that and the Let's Watch.
Yeah.
I will be busy.
Yeah. It takes a bit to edit. It's frustrating too when you put all this work into the filming and the thinking of what you're talking about, and then you have to edit it, and then you have to render it, and then you upload it, and it gets immediate block. That's annoying. That's so annoying.
This is why I'm moving most of my content to Facebook, because I have a feeling, I'm just predicting, but if I move my stuff there, some of it, and I feel like I might get more famous over there than maybe.
Oh, you want to chase the fame, huh? Is that what it is?
Okay, I didn't mean to put it that way. I mean, I would probably get monetized. Sorry.
I know. I understand. This is something that you put a lot of effort into this.
I mean, and on top of that, yeah, it's for free. I mean, I'm not trying to say, hey, donate money to me so I could do so. No. I mean, it would be cool, but I don't want to take people's money just because.
Well, I think it would be cool if you were to be able to make something work for you, because I know that this is something that you would love to do. That's what you would love to be your career.
I want this to be like a company.
But YouTube doesn't make it easy for small content creators, unfortunately. You know, you were monetizing for a little bit, and then they changed the rules.
Yeah.
And there that went. So
see, I'll be okay with my original content, but if I try to review things for people, then no, they block you.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's just automatic. The system does it. But what's frustrating is when you're doing a review of something, it's really very clear how that's fair use. And there are some there are some copyright holders that just refuse to acknowledge that, especially if they're not in the United States. But it's frustrating because you're obviously not stealing anything. You are contributing something to it. You're adding to it, but
see, like they took down so they took down Neon Genesis Evangelion for a while, and they took down Fatal Frame 2 because of the music that I used. Now, the Fatal Frame 2 I could kind of understand because it's someone else's like album that they put in the game, but it was in the game. And I wanted to use it because it's in the game. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite TV series ever.
I have not seen that yet.
Okay. A lot of people talk about that anime. I like it. I do. But for some reason, I think Hellsing's my favorite.
Oh, you mean you were was this not on your top 10 on?
This was not on. Well, okay. At the time when I did the top 10 shows and movies that were on Toonami, because this was on Toonami. And I really liked that show. Now, well, at the time I didn't even watch it, to be honest. It wasn't.
I've never seen it. YouTube, the thing based, regularity. Yeah, that's true. Regularity, but one of the main issues I think with one of the reasons I think Arturo has had some issue gaining traction is because he spreads himself out with so many different types of things that he does.
I've got like my original stories that I want to bring out.
Yeah, you've been working on the Toy War and
the vampire story I'm working on right now.
Then
you have the entertainment side where I like to cover things. I like to review what I feel about this, and this.
Yeah.
And then my top 10s, and then a discussion, and then a podcast.
Yeah.
See, my idea was to make this platform almost like where I had other people help me out. Like, Corey Michaels movies, my mom here, Sin's Corner, and then some of my friends. But then I was thinking, well, my sister was saying this. People probably want to see just me doing so-and-so, unless there's a collab.
Yeah, well, I mean, YouTubers do collabs, often.
What I was
that's a little different.
What I was kind of going for at first was if people were to work with me on this channel, they could do a review of this. That way I'm not all over. Like, I'm not trying to cover so much ground on everything.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm like, well, I could just take my time. Yeah, focus on one thing.
See, this is what I've mentioned to you many, many times, is if you just kind of had your focus on one specific type of thing.
Well, right now, on the side, I work on my original stuff. Right now, I'm focusing on the entertainment stuff.
Yeah, like you mean reviews and things like that?
The reviews, the discussion, and I'm editing another top 10 shows and movies that aired on Toonami.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were telling me that.
Boy, I am so conflicted on the two because I'm trying to decide, do I want to flip one of them to one or one of them to two?
You really have a hard time figuring out this stuff because you just debate with yourself forever about it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to base it on how I felt.
Yeah.
My enjoyment.
Maybe just go by your instinct. Maybe just go by your first instinct and try not to overthink it.
Yeah, but it's hard because these two were really good. These two shows that you and I actually watched on Toonami.
Oh, okay.
And it was fairly recent.
Well, don't tell me what it is. I'll wait.
I won't say. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm just saying these shows were fairly recent that when we watched them. It was before the pandemic, obviously.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't watch as many shows on Toonami as you do, so. But I'm not going to try anything. I'll just wait for your video.
Okay, well, maybe I'll make two versions then, and then decide.
There you go.
It's really hard for me to make a top 10. It really is.
There's so many good things to choose from. I know it's challenging.
I mean, obviously, I knew when I first did the first top 10, I knew what would be number one. Because it was, well, like I said, if anybody was listening already. But I was also going to just go ahead and say that if people like to follow me on Discord, Sin's Corner is there. Corey Michaels Movies, also now Who's Right, Who's Wrong guy. Because he's now focusing on that than anything.
Yeah, he that channel's doing
really well. Should we just call him Who's Right, Who's Wrong guy?
I don't know. His name's Corey, so it's easier to just call him Corey.
Corey Michaels Movies.
Yeah.
Has another channel called Who's Right, Who's Wrong.
And they focus on song reactions.
But yeah, he's on there. My sister Skyart Amy's on there. So like about 4 YouTubers are on there. Me, Sin's Corner, Corey Michaels Movies, and Skyart Amy. And then some of my other friends. Talk about Discord, Mom.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking to myself, I'm not super active on your Discord because I'm busy with, my own work Discord because
she also works on another. She works for a company on Discord, but she's also on mine, which I wish she could participate a little more.
I know. I don't really have much. I don't know. I don't really have much to add there, and I'm busy with my own channel too. I'm filming almost every day and editing and stuff like that.
I'm trying to edit a lot. I'm trying to actually trim down how much I work because it's overwhelming.
Yes, I know. You're always branching. You just have your fingers in too many things.
Then I also got photography too. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And I also want to bring that to my channel at some point. I like everything. I like to do
I
everything.
know. You want to do all the things.
But let's say if you miss my update on YouTube, you're on Discord, you'll see it go up. It'll be on your notifications. You'll
Oh,
get
you mean your video?
Yeah, you'll get. I mean, like you'll get to see Sin's Corner here. Her videos go up there for an update, and then you'll see my sister's video go up, and then you'll see Corey Michaels movies on Who's Right, Who's Wrong goes up.
Mm-hmm.
They'll keep you guys updated on even the channels that you probably don't follow if you decide to follow my Discord server. And just have a blast on there. Talk about entertainment.
You put your Discord information in the description of your videos, right?
Lately, I have been doing that, yeah. And slowly, I'm going back to some of my old ones when I upload them on Facebook.
You can probably also put it on your main channel about page. You could maybe put it up on the corner.
Yes, I've done that.
Or in the description.
Yeah, I want to build it into community. You could also, like I said, chat about 80s stuff. Anything entertainment-wise.
Yep.
Or just hang out in the original, general chat room. Do whatever you want. Just be nice.
Well, within reason. Okay, well, it's almost 10, so
yeah,
we've
thanks
been
everyone
for almost 3 hours.
Thanks, Simon, Colin Pass, Glenn. Even though they're mostly watching it on your channel.
Say what?
They're mostly watching it on your channel. I had like one viewer on my channel, and that's it. Then he went away.
Oh well.
Na, 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 na.
I know. Let's play the Lonely Man song.
Na, 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 na. It might be useful to look up UX, user experience design. Consider how an audience member navigate the content. How does one thing relate to another? What's the narrative?
UX, user experience design.
Yes,
thanks for that suggestion, Simon.
Okay, I have to look into that. Yes, it's nice having you guys on. This is fun. I like seeing what people say. Yeah, sometimes when we record podcasts, sometimes we pre-record it.
I think it's more fun to do it live because you have the interaction with the audience.
Well, see, the only way
I film my interviews when I do interviews, I record them. Was what I mean. I record them on StreamYard. But when we have discussions like this, I enjoy this more.
Yeah,
to do it live stream. I know it can drag on for a bit. Like if we were just recording this, this probably would be an hour and a half shorter than it ended up being. But
gosh, it's close to 3 hours now.
I know, but because we're interacting with people, and then they spark discussion, they remind us of things that maybe we didn't think about. It just, makes it more. I don't know.
Was really fun that we actually started doing this like in the later part of 2020. Just everything going on in the world. Just the chaos going on in the world. Yeah. But this actually is a mental.
It makes you feel more connected, even though when you're not
relaxed, talking about nostalgia. You know,
things that can unite people and bring them together, common interests and
people like in Ireland.
I know, it's so cool to talk to people from all these different
and we talked to someone that was in Japan in the 80s. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's cool.
It is always fun to do this live.
Yep, it is indeed. Thank you so much.
It's just too bad that when I go live, I get Ricardo, but I don't get a lot of people like on unless. But whenever we do this, whenever we do it on your channel, on my channel at the same time, then I could see everybody's comments. That's why I like doing stuff live with you, because I like to see.
Well, I was the one that suggested it because I told you we'd probably be able to talk with more people, and it'd be, just more interaction and engagement.
Yeah.
So, and I enjoy it. I do. I feel like sometimes I want to get on and do just a sort of a basic chat, just like a I don't know, like if you want to say like an ask me anything, but just like talk about
Q&A,
or just a chat discussion. The one that I did on election day when I was Now I need to look up the history of shoelaces.
I could talk about history.
I know
a bit of history.
you love your history. You
I
sure
know a
do.
lot about World War II history and the Cold War. Some of my stories are based on those, so I would definitely like to chat about that.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, there was something. Oh yeah, I know at some point I want to do a podcast about some of our projects we're working on. I mean, Mom, you have one story you were working on that you should get back into.
Not finished. I still have not finished.
Talk about the story.
Revising that.
Yeah, why not talk about the story about your brother's book?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, my book too, a directionally. Yeah, I think it would be fun to just kind of have a chat, just like, what's going on? What are you watching? What are you reading?
Like
what are
Q&A, basically.
Yeah, kind of like a Q&A or discussion.
Like either, yeah, I was thinking on doing that, like for my weekly news podcast, like about what, like updating people what's coming out on my channel, and I was thinking maybe to also add like a Q&A for people that want to write to me live about it.
I was getting ready to suggest putting up a community post, but I forgot. You don't have you have to have 1,000 subscribers to get the community post to open.
Part of me thinks if I should just start doing live things on Facebook too, because like I said, Facebook is giving me more opportunity than YouTube.
Oh, you didn't stream to Facebook tonight. You should have. Because Corey's not here. You totally should have. That just occurred to me.
Scheiße.
Anyway, so okay.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for listening to the Arturelia podcast. So much. So tomorrow, like I've said, at 9 p.m., Corey Michael's movie, Sense Corner, and then my friend, hopefully Matt Air, and then Matt Ron, and then Matt Rice will be on. And
will Mike be with us? Oh, he doesn't know.
Maybe.
Okay.
And I think I might be able to get Robert, my manager at work, to join in.
Oh, okay.
Because see, I was sending him the wrong. I was actually writing him in the wrong Gmail address. Apparently, that one got hacked. So he showed me the other one that he's on.
Okay.
So maybe if I email him tonight, I could tell him what time, and I could send him the invite and blah blah blah. And I also wrote Galen to see if he'll come on too. It's nice having some company. Thanks, guys. I like talking about movies and shows. Yes.
Yep. Same here. At movies and TV stories, that was the whole reason I started my channel. I wanted to talk about this stuff with people.
Why not talk about?
It was really. I was thinking the other day when I was watching WandaVision, the end of WandaVision, episode 5, and that exciting thing happened, and I'm like, like this, and then of course, your dad has no clue what the heck I'm so excited about.
Eastern time.
Eastern, yes, Eastern. We're in the Eastern time zone. And so it was like there was nobody I could talk to about it. And the first one of the first things that came to me was like, man, that'd be really cool to be live streaming and talking about this, because I can't talk about it with you. You haven't seen it yet.
I could have heard some spoilers because you were talking, and I was in your bedroom, and I could hear you, but I made sure not to listen.
Wait, when?
Today. You were
when I was having an office meeting?
Yes. I could have heard you say.
We did not get specific.
How about an open but moderated Zoom call for the hangout?
For the hangout, like whenever we do a discussion hangout?
Yeah, maybe we could.
I've never done a Zoom.
I think at some point, maybe. You know what my idea was, Mom?
We know how to, we could send out. I'm familiar with StreamYard. You could send out, invitation links to StreamYard, and people could use it right through their browser.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to have an account.
Well,
I'm not familiar with Zoom.
I was going to suggest that we do these live stream hangouts. Remember? We never did them.
The History of the Third Reich. That's the best World War II. You haven't read that one, have you, Arturo?
No, I got some World War II books that I would like to read.
Me, Glenn, yeah, that would be fun.
Oh,
yeah, like to have a chat, like an actual sort of face to face or voice to voice chat.
Remember what I said like last year that I would like to do like these live stream hangouts. We never did them. We did these shows like the podcast, the discussions, but we never did like a hangout. We should do a hangout.
Were you talking about with you, me, Corey, and that's it, or were you talking about with the
friends too? Yeah. Now, if Simon and Glenn want to get on, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, I hesitate. It took me a bit to get around actually doing live stream. The very first time I did live stream was election night.
Oh yeah, that was a bloody night.
And that was the last time. That was the first and last time I did just a live stream, and it's just me, and I was just playing that game.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll schedule a hangout, and well, here's the thing. If Corey gets on, am I able to live stream on both platforms, or it's only 3 I can do?
It's only 3.
See, then I can't do it on Facebook. I would need to like pay for a better subscription for being able to stream on
more. Yeah, we can only stream to 3.
But dang it, I never
we'll
thought
figure
about
something out.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. So.
But yeah, this was fun and interesting. I like anime.
Yes, you do.
I'm even also working on my own anime book. I want to get it out this year. Yeah, manga. I want to get it out this year, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out. And yes, it will be better than what happened in Game of Thrones.
Goodness. Please don't bring that up anymore.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, seriously, I would say to people that want to write stuff, go write. Bring out your imagination. It's really fun. It's hard, but it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's really, it's fun. Like all these movies, all these animes, all these shows that we talk about, it always inspires me to create my own stories.
Yeah, you have a vivid imagination. You've done a lot of work on the Toy War.
Yeah, but I really want to get back to finishing it. The living room needs to be clean. I'm ready to clean that room.
Remind me of the mess that is this house.
I've only made like 5 episodes. I want to get up to like 10. And the problem is, Corey's schedule.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to figure things out with him sometimes. So.
But yeah, I'm determined to finish it.
I'm sure you will. Okay, we probably need to call this quits. I've got some stuff I got to take care of.
So, all right, everyone. Have a good night.
Yes.
See you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the discussion of Rock in the 80s.
1987.
And boy, there's at least 3 films I would really like to discuss.
Okay, well, we will. We will discuss it when the time comes.
It's gonna be fun. Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm gonna end the broadcast now.
No, don't. Bye, Glenn.